like him. I think we could build off of that a bit. I want to build off of it to be a little bit interactive, but I'm glad that you guys do like it. All right. On all platforms, of course, Kit gets the exclusive intro. We'll eventually, at some point, all revert to Kick at some point during the stream, but we on all platforms now, so shout out to YouTube. You know, pretty much like our home base, it always holds us down. We're on Rumble as well. Shout out to everybody on Rumble. By the way, I've told you guys, if you guys are mods on one platform, like, and if you go to another platform, if you have 2 accounts, we'll just mod you on both accounts or both platforms. It's fine. All right, people, I'm here. I am here. Somebody said you liked my fro. Did you? Yeah, no, that was right before my hair lady came, and she hooked it up. She hooked it up. My hair looking good right now. Actually, I got to just do a lineup type shit. I will say, I had to get my hair done too, because, you know what I mean? We going to get into this Boosie and Vlad thing. I'm about to do Vlad again. I haven't done Vlad like in a month. Y'all haven't done Vlad in so long. Vlad called me like, yo, Ak, are we still good? I'm like, nah, nigga, we good, gang. But that's when I found out him and Boosie was beefing. I was like, all right, don't worry. I'm tapping in the game. I'm tapping in. You know, Vlad don't pay me. We just kind of just straight content. But you know what I mean? The platform misses Big Ak. So I think we're doing like an interview in like 2 or 3 days. He told me specifically to not cancel because he's booking a flight out here specifically to sit with Big Ak. All right. Yeah, this is a funny picture. It's Vaughn, 1700. Okay. Oh, no. I wanted to shout out this chat queen. Wake me up at 11 a.m. or 1 a.m. I met her at our Miami show, but, you know, I was getting a barrage of DMs today. A lot of y'all cussing me the hell out. But she was one of the last people. She was sending me a lot of messages, I guess from Discord, that people were a little bit disappointed I wasn't streaming. So I told her personally, I'm like, I'm getting on for you. I'm getting on. So I am here, and we're going to have a good time. Honestly, chat, it's not laziness. I hope you guys do know, right? Like, I think we still do more content than any other content creator, like in the hip-hop space. I've been telling you, like, I've been getting, like, it's weird. So, like, I got sick, like a flu, cold type thing right before the show. And, you know, I was talking to my assistant about it. I was like, the day of the show, I felt perfect. Like, I felt like I got better, right? Or the day before and the day of and the day after, I was all good. I was with Clav. Y'all saw me, right? And I came back to Jersey, and then I got a little bit sick. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, weird because, like, I have, like, chills. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my temperature is off. So if you didn't see me, like, I've been taking some medication. But, you know, like, all these, like, little cold medication, they make you mad sleepy. So, you know, and you know, health is wealth, number one. But definitely, if you're wondering why I haven't been consistent with the 1 to 30, you know, I've been just trying to make sure I'm good. Number one, obviously, we have a show next month, right? We're going to talk about that because obviously we now know the release date or the the release date for Drake's new album, Iceman. It's on the same day of the show. And, you know, at first I was like, fuck, he always does this. No, I'm playing. But because remember when we were like so huge and just like everybody just spamming Scorpion. That was like we picked that emoji in 2017. Drake names his fucking album Scorpion 2018. It was like, come on, bro. Let us get some. Anyway, I'm playing. So when I first saw it, I was like, what? But it actually is going to work out very perfectly this time around, chat. If you guys haven't gotten tickets, let's just say. But this is going to work out good. I'm just say that. For anyone who's concerned, my birthday show is on the 15th, currently at Gramercy Theater. I know, that's Drake's release date. However, the way it works is that we're having the album release party the night before. That's how we do it, right? So the Friday, you know, albums drop at midnight. So we usually go Thursday night. So this is a Friday night. So this is basically the night after, right? Or it's the day of the album, but it's the night when the album's already out. So, you know, I was even thinking about it. I'm like, if we do a listening party, should I just do a 24-hour stream where I start streaming from 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. the night before? We go into midnight, we get Drake's album, and I stream all the way till my show begins the same day. That would be ill, but I probably need some sleep. I'm thinking about it, but I will say, I've seen some people like, Ak, what are you going to do? No, you guys are misunderstanding what's happening. This works out perfectly, okay? Remember, we do listening parties on Thursday night, not Friday night, okay? So we'll be able to do our listening party and have a good time, have some new Drake tunes, and we're going to go on to the show. And who knows, maybe we just, maybe we drop some exclusives at the shows, you know what I mean? Who knows? Anyway, I'm excited. We'll get a little bit more into Iceman a little bit. All the talk right now in hip-hop is all about Iceman. Iceman this, Iceman that. Yo, it's like, it's so hilarious in hip-hop media. Everybody's hedging their bets, you know what I mean? Like all the guys who thought like, like 2 years ago, and we got to remember that we are about a week and a half, actually, yes, exactly a week and a half today, away from when, a week and a half from 2 years to the date when Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us. And there was so many people who, when the battle was kind of like almost like finalized, and of course Not Like Us is out, they said, we got him. We got him. It's like that. It's like that Kamala Harris, we did it, Joe, like thing. Everybody had this moment. I seen a lot of.
We did it, Joe.
That was hip hop media. Hip hop media was like, we got him out of here finally. Yes, you know what I mean. I think Pusha T, he jumped on the pylon. Meek Mill was like he didn't want to say too much, but it was like, yeah, we got this motherfucker. Now I'm not saying those particular rappers, but. Hip-hop media specifically, most of them who either, I don't know how their relationships got soured or maybe Joe cussed them out or whatever. They were like, finally, we could get rid of this guy. It was supposed to be a changing of the guards. It was the moment where hip-hop was to rid themselves of what even some of these guys call the cancerous Drake. However, in the next year, in the next 2 years to follow, all we saw was a drought. We saw the worst drought that, no one could ever expect. Most of these people, they lost their livelihoods, couldn't pay their mortgages. They lost their shows. They weren't interested because there was nothing much in hip hop to talk about. And for them, their content was hate. And when hate wasn't the thing that could fuel them anymore, they all fell flat. All those people are now doubling back. They're hedging their bets. They're all putting out statements and going on by saying, hey, listen, you know what? I never really hated the guy. Wait, hold on now. I know I said I was happy he was being called a pedophile, but I didn't hate him. Some of these things don't even make sense. Some of these things don't make sense. You know what I mean? There's some people who said that they believed when, this guy was described as a quote unquote PDF, yet they're now saying they didn't hate him. I don't know how you could believe that somebody was a PDF and don't hate him, but I digress. So anyway, everyone's hedging their bets, and, it's about to be a beautiful time because no matter how it goes, May 15th is going to give people a runway to hate, a runway to love, a runway to backtrack, a runway to apologize, and a runway to double down. Doesn't matter. Right? It's the excitement that we all need in hip hop. And time heals all. That's what I've realized, And I do want to give credit to a lot of these guys who they were probably hating. And when they said, yo, you know what? Because a lot of people did say this. Drake just needs to go away. But really, they just wanted him to go away because Drake stopped having relationships with them, wouldn't give them an interview. Probably cussed them out in DMs. Probably said that they were a goof. You know how he talks. And they wanted to rid themselves of the guy. But that was actually the actual remedy. In the last, I want to say 3 months or so, his silence has been deafening. News or rumors about Iceman has been so loud that everybody's speculating, even incorrectly. Elliot Wilson saying he's hearing stuff. Charlemagne is hearing stuff. I heard today Joe said he heard some stuff. We have Melonhead. He heard some stuff. DJ Dickhead. He heard some. Everybody is now hearing things, right? Kind of ironic because y'all are hearing stuff about a nigga you don't like. What about the guy you do like? You don't hear nothing about him? So, okay. So anyway, it's a great reset, and heavy's a head that wears a crown. I do believe that it was valuable advice that Drake just disappear for a while. It was the only thing that made people realize that he's part of an ecosystem that get us all fed. You talk about Drake, you get some attention. You talk about Drake, you pay your bills. You rap about Drake, you hate on Drake, you get a YouTube video that does over 20,000. I went to go check one of these guys, one of these guys was making music about it too. He was doing all type of hieroglyphics. I went to go check what he was talking about. Nothing. Looking at them views, abysmal. I'm like, okay. So, Drake is here to save us and save him too. It's all good. All right, we'll get into a little bit more minute details and a little bit about exactly what's kind of shaping up. Again, May 15th is the date. There's a lot of speculation on how this is going to go, right? We'll get into everything with the ICE. We kind of did cover some of that stuff, but we want to kind of like explicitly get into what is the next step of the rollout. I think he did one of the most ingenious ways of kind of pretty much doing a treasure hunt. But now it's what comes next. Does he drop a single? Does he not drop a single? Does he drop 2 songs? Does he preview a song? Does he need to? That's a good conversation we'll have in a little bit. A bunch of other bot stuff, conversations are happening. They are also investigating Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon Music for manipulating or taking, it's not necessarily payola, but creating an unfair market where people could pay for placements. And the Attorney General out of Texas wants to investigate that to see if, this is happening. We're going to talk about that as well. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff about Iceman and Iceman adjacent stuff. There's not much music things to, people are also predicting, who the features are going to be and what the sales are going to end up being. So we'll kind of indulge in those conversations as well. Oh yeah. Shout out to my man Rob Markman. I seen Rob Markman. He kind of came back. He said, I didn't really dislike Drake either. They just called me a Drake hater. It's like, it's okay, my brother. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's ironic everybody's putting out the statements now, right? It would have been pretty cool, in the midst of the hate for them to just say, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I see Daylight kind of exposed, or actually Daylight, and there's a media member, Dijon. They're exposing, it looked like the cracks are starting to be seen over the Bot Like Us farm. We're hearing that, TDE, maybe they were looking to try to recruit people into their consortium, or maybe their paid cabal. And ironically, they all thought that because I support Drake, they needed to galvanize and organize a whole group of people that would, balance it out. I was actually fucking flattered. I couldn't. I seen a text that said Drake has academics, so let's get Voltron. It treated me like I was Thanos. Chat, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as sometimes I really kind of get up, I feel like I'm not that. I ain't shit like that. But when I get online and hear how these guys talk about me, and they basically say I move the needle all the way. And I now see an active thing where they're trying to say we need to all team up to counter academics being on Drake's side. This is fucking Infinity Wars. I'm like, am I that powerful? I don't know. I kind of, it's a little bit laughable, but if you keep telling me the same joke, maybe I stop laughing after a while. I'm like, wait, did they believe this? Or maybe it's true. I don't know. We'll get into all those things. What else is going on in hip-hop? We have the start of the Foolio trial today, people. Yes, Foolio. He was brutally gunned down by a crew of 3 individuals, but it was expanded to 5 individuals. There was a girl and her boyfriend who were the lookouts. Then there were 3 gunmen, okay? The 4 that were male are going on trial now. The female, she actually went on trial before, and she essentially, her lawyer did a really good job. She didn't agree to snitch, right? So she's not going to be, from my understanding, she's not going to be working for the state. Because number one, she did love her boyfriend, but she did end up blaming her boyfriend for why she was there. She basically said he abused her. She couldn't really ask questions, and she was just going everything out of love. And before it was too late, they killed somebody, right? So, the jury kind of believed that, and they kind of gave her a really probably lenient sentence. And I believe she's, I'll look it up, but I think she has something under like 15 or 10 years. I think it's like 10 years, right? And again, it's, it's a damsel in distress theory, where a woman in most crimes, because a jury will more believe that they're not capable of planning and being so violent, they will be like, hey, yeah, you probably were manipulated by your boyfriend, even though your cell phone was the one being used in multiple times to triangulate his location. You booked the Airbnb, and you opened the back door that they could avoid the Ring cameras, and you were the front person to walk up to the club with the bouncer, and because you were unassuming. It sounds like you're in on it, but she gets to say, nah, I was getting my ass beat. I just love my boyfriend. And yeah. So that happened. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're also going to talk about, and we got to make sure we get through everything before, we get to, I know it's midnight on the East Coast. A little bit of the David saga. So we're now getting a complaint and also more info about what the coroner has reported in this medical examiner report, which is the autopsy. They're saying that this girl, Celeste, this 14-year-old, she was killed with a smooth but sharp, blunt object. They can't really identify whether it's a knife, a machete, or something else. It doesn't seem like it's a power tool. They kept saying it was a smooth thing. And there was puncture wounds they found. When they found her, she was missing an eye. She was mutilated, supposedly after death. And her fingers and some other body parts were purposely removed. And once you see how it's being spelled out, this guy doesn't even seem like someone who killed someone and was trying to get away with it. This guy just seems like a really sick fuck. All these details are coming out to make people kind of realize that maybe the death penalty is worth really looking into when you get someone who would go through these extreme measures of trying to mutilate, maim, and decapitate a child. This guy is sick. This guy is incredibly sick. His music is being taken down from all streaming platforms. Interscope announced that they dropped him. People who had collabs with him have hit retractions that they do not want those songs out. And the platforms haven't spoken about what their demeanor is to it. But the labels and record labels have all agreed that they are fine with not monetizing his music, even if in music that may make no reference at all to him murdering Celeste. Okay, I think we kind of got a broad blueprint on what's going on for the night. Might have to get my little doggy soon. I don't know what they're barking at this time. Like, Jesus Christ. Maybe it's the moon. All right. So, what are we to do? What are we to do, people? Y'all are going to have to let me know. Should we touch on the Vlad thing? By the way, Vlad dropped a video, and I'm not going to lie to you, I think he eviscerated Boosie. Like, I thought he was going to play, a lot of times when you're a platform owner, you got to, and that's what I always say about when you work with rappers, they're the biggest and most egotistical people in the world, no matter who you are. If you're the PR person, the manager, the label, you got to like really appease to these guys like overinflated ego, right? And especially like, for example, say you're in media, right? You set an interview with someone. The person shows up, he's like, yo, he wants this type of food, he wants that, he wants this, he wants this, he wants that. He's late, you know what I mean? And you kind of just have to sit around and wait. Why? Because in hip hop, the rapper is just kind of seen as a central person. So these guys develop all type of like really big egos. Now, it's always interesting. We see it a lot with the Breakfast Club, where like you'll see these people, they show up and they'll be talking crazy to Charlemagne, not knowing that like, Charlemagne's making like a smooth $40-50 million a year. Charlemagne's making more than every rapper that's gonna walk in there, because for a fact, J. Cole, Kendrick, or Drake ain't walking in there. He's making more than everybody, every rapper. But he's humble enough that when a rapper comes in talking all that shit, he'll let them get it off. And that's the job of a lot of people when you deal with rappers. Even if you know their ego, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm the only one who checks them a bit, right? But like, if you know their ego's a little bit whatever, you just kind of let them rock. And I thought Vlad was going to go about that way with Boosie. Because, again, Boosie's one of those guys who does good on his platform. And Vlad dropped another video and he eviscerated him. Like, he just made Boosie look like a nigga he made Boosie look like a broke-ass nigga who think he's bigger than the program. Now, I don't think he meant, I don't know what Vlad, like, to be honest, I was shocked by the video because I thought Vlad was trying to save the relationship. This video just made Boosie, like, if Boosie returned to do interviews, it would just look like he got bitch slapped and had to come back in the house and apologize. Did y'all see the video? Did y'all see it? Okay. I want to watch this with you, but I'm going to watch it in like fast motion. Okay, it's 30 minutes long. We're not watching all of that. But let me speed it up a little bit, and I'm going to give a little bit of commentary, and we'll just kind of start off slow here, and then we're going to get into some more interesting things. Don't you worry, okay? Here we go. All right, I'm going to skip. Come on.
Situation where I said you could only do interviews with Vlad and no one else. Busy, our schedules aren't aligning. That's why I only do interviews with Vlad and no one else. People are free agents. They can do whatever they want.
But Vlad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Boosie is, I'm thinking at least, 4 or 5 times out the year?
Maybe like 3 times these days, sometimes 4 in our heyday. But hold on, let me just finish. So Boosie made a video, he was on live, and he said, well, I'm not going to do any more Vlad interviews because I wanted 5,000 more for my interview, and he wouldn't give it to me.
By the way, I still think classic chess play by Vlad, and it's sad that he had to do it to Boosie, because here's the thing. Boosie was trying to use the fact that people love him against Vlad, and he said, oh, this guy won't give me $5,000. That sounds like, yo, Vlad, you're cheap, until Vlad comes out and say, bro, I already pay you $25,000, right? And once he said that I only make $10,000, you get $25,000, everyone shifted against Boosie, I'm not going to lie.
On every blog,
here we go.
Lay out the whole story where I said, listen.
He wanted another 10.
No. Here's what really happened. I talked about this in my last interview.
On top of what you was given.
So I had to come forward and tell the whole story because this 5,000 number was floating around out of context. So I basically had to explain in the last video that up until this point for the last couple of years, Boosie was getting paid $25,000 per interview. Okay. When he came to me, when I called him and talked about the next interview, he said he wants $40,000. And I'm like, there's no way I could do 40.
15, Vlad.
That's another 15. And I said, there's no way I could do that.
That's pocket watching, clearly, right? Like, he heard that 6ix9ine. And I know the number that 6ix9ine got. And I'm going to be honest with you, definitely more than 40,000, but well-deserved. I know exactly how much the money 6ix9ine made Vlad. And Vlad is still eating from that. That money that Vlad made from them 6ix9ine clips is going to help pay his grandkids fucking college tuition, right?
The lowest I'll take is 35. And I'm like, maybe I could do 30, but I got to run the numbers. I got home, ran the numbers, realized that the profit margin for the last couple of years was only 10,000. I said, I can't even give you 30 because it doesn't make any sense. The one thing that I didn't mention last time also is that Boosie was originally getting paid 20 for a while.
You went up.
I went up by 5 because I came up with the idea to do house tours. I'm like, let's do an interview at your house. I'll fly out there. We'll do the interview for 20, and then the house tour will be another 5. So if the interview gets demonetized, parts of it or whatever, the house tour will make up for that money, and it'll still be profitable overall, and you're not leaving your house.
2 different separate content.
2 separate pieces of content. Everybody wins. You get an extra 5,000. I've created a new piece of content. I'm giving him a deal because we would do 4 interviews a year at 25. I'm saving them money by only charging them 35 for one interview.
Well, if I'm getting 25K from Vlad and I'm on that motherfucker how many times a year? And now
Okay, so
Calling him, and we've been having problems trying to get Boosie locked down to it.
so this is where I think Vlad, and I want to make it very clear. Yo, to me, when I watched this today, I realized Vlad is, and I shouldn't use this terminology because Vlad is not a slave master, but he had to crack the whip finally. He had to let it be known that you motherfuckers that are on this shit, sitting on, he don't even have a couch anymore, it's a chair, that are sitting on my platform, bitch, I pay your bills. You don't pay mine. And before, I think a lot of people thought they were doing Vlad a favor. Like, yeah, I'm going to do him a favor. And I think he's like, Vlad is a very shrewd operator. Vlad even started pocket watching Boosie here. Like, that nigga Boosie ain't really making shit like that. Nigga, you need this shit type shit. Look at this.
For 35, I walk away with zero profit. Where am I saving money here? It looks like I'm actually just losing money because of the overhead and everything else like that. How am I saving money? And I was always open to do 4 interviews, but listen, you can even ask his assistant. I've been calling him, and we've been having problems trying to get Boosie locked down to a date. I finally had to call Boosie myself, and that's when the conversation actually happened. But I've been trying to do more interviews with him, but unfortunately, he was hard to pin down. So this is what happened, and this is kind of where
I still believe that Boosie let me tell you, it's like Sean Cotton. No, it's like Sean Cotton and Charleston White. Except I don't think Charleston White had the money problem. He knew he was always going to be the most highest paid person by say cheese. But let me tell you this. There's something about these interviews, and I know it's going to sound gay to y'all, but it's true. Boosie kind of felt like Vlad TV was his platform. I know. It might sound crazy, but he kind of did. That's why he never did nothing nowhere else. That's why he never started nothing for himself. And I think he probably it's like when you got that one friend and you think you're their only friend, and then you start seeing them hang with everybody else. He started inviting Vlad to his fucking house. Yo, Vlad, come on. Get some milk and cookies. You know what I mean? Now you could go in the fridge. All of a sudden he looks up. Vlad's at 6ix9ine's crib. 6ix9ine's mother is baking him all type of fucking enchiladas and chalupas. Yo, and I think Boosie was just like, yo, I'm sharing my guy. Pause. Like, not no gay shit, but like, yo, what's up? Yes, that's what happens. Feel what I'm saying?
we ended up parting ways, at least for the time being. We'll see what the future holds. But the one thing that Boosie said, which was interesting, was that he said a couple of things. He said,
yeah, Vlad got pissed. Yo, one thing I've liked about Vlad's evolution, by the way, notice the watch. Notice the watch. Price my man outright. Price my man outright. Notice the watch. Vlad is not playing with niggas no more. Yo, watch. Yo, Vlad. Yo, let me tell you this. Just notice the watch. Yo, you gotta notice everything about Vlad. Vlad came a long way from when, remember like Gunplay and them talking about it? Come on, that's a long time ago. Vlad went to Turkey, got the hair right. Vlad is in shape. I seen Vlad post a picture with him and Wack. Bro, Vlad look like he's in motherfucking shape compared to these niggas out here now. Like Vlad look like he's living the best life. He looks like money looks good on Vlad. Like, look. Anytime you see, where's the fucking picture? Look, Vlad killing him now. Yo, my man Wack looked like he just he just came from the park. You know what I mean? Paru, biggest, you feel me? This guy, I'm telling you, Vlad ain't taking no more shit from niggas, man. I like it too, kind of.
That I don't need podcasts need me.
Now, that's what I'm saying about letting somebody have an ego. Right? I think back in the day, Vlad would have just, sometimes when you're dealing with somebody like that, you just let him say that dumb shit. Sean Cotton let Charleston White say that about his platform, even though I think he felt away. Remember what's Charles was like, man, I don't need no say cheese. And I could tell that hurt Sean Cotton's feeling for a little bit, but he took it. But that's what you have to do when you're in that media position, because, unless you're the star, you know what I mean? Build a platform, keep doing business, right? That will make you the bigger boss eventually. Vlad is past that point. He not taking no check. He not letting no nigga get off on him. And to keep it real, you can see how he titled this. He said, Vlad, if and Boosie are so friends, he said, it ain't about friends, it's about respect. So so Vlad is on some shit like, nigga, fuck that 25,000, nigga. You gonna respect me, nigga. When Vlad is on that, yo, I can't wait for the Boosie apology. It's gonna be great.
And also he said that whenever people talk about Vlad TV, they would mention Boosie. Because Boosie was a big draw of Vlad TV. Now, number one, he's absolutely right. For a long time, when people talked about Vlad TV, they talked about Boosie because he was the biggest guest for a long time, and I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate all the interviews that me and Boosie did together because they're monumental, timeless interviews. Boosie is great in front of the camera. He has a great personality. He's animated. He has really strong opinions. He's really a perfect guest for Vlad TV. But here's the flip side of that also. Boosie's musical career peaked around 2014 or so.
This is where Vlad started shitting on him. This is when Vlad got to bring a nigga down to size. Boosie, take notes, my brother. Don't try to point at your anger at me. This is what happens when this is a HR review, nigga. This is your boss, interview boss, not musical boss, because you do shows, but you only do interviews with him. This is an HR review. Look how he dress you down right quick. Feel me? He basically just gonna say you washed up, gang.
Boosie's musical career peaked around 2014 or so.
Yeah, it's been at least a decade.
Because, he went to jail. He had all these big songs, and he went to jail for 4 years. He came out, and the landscape had changed a little bit. And right around 2016, that's when me and him started doing interviews. And over those next 10 years, we got to know who Boosie was as a person, not just as a musical artist. And that made a big change, I feel, in how Boosie is perceived. Because if you look at Boosie in 2026 and you take away all the Vlad TV interviews and all you have is his music, I don't think that Boosie would be where he is popularity-wise.
Pop that shit, Vlad. He basically saying, yo, you helped make me, but trust and believe I helped make you. Pop that shit, Vlad.
The music is not driving that. Actually, I remember, I don't know if you were past millions.
The Vlad TV because of Boosie? 100%.
Yeah.
But if you go to a Boosie concert, how many of those people in that audience haven't watched a Vlad TV Boosie interview? Probably almost none. I am positive that all the times that we've gone viral together, all the Boosie memes are Vlad TV interview memes. You're not going to tell me that all that exposure and those millions of people watching didn't increase your bookings, didn't get you new fans.
Oh, shit.
We both helped each other.
Y'all helped each other.
We both helped each other. And when it comes down to it, because he said something interesting, he said that, hey man, I'm just hustling, I'm trying to make extra money, and that's cool. But hustling and making extra money at the expense of your business partner, who you've been rocking with for 20 years, is not really hustling. You're just squeezing the other party out of their profit margin. And I was already saying that in these interviews, he got 25, I got 10. I did all the work. I flew out. I hired the camera crew. I took all the risk. I know, listen, Boosie's my man, but if I told him, yo, man, we forgot to record the audio. My cameraman fucked up, and this whole interview's lost. Can you do another one for me?
Nah, Vlad on his ass, man. Yo.
For free, since I've already paid you, I don't know if he would do that. He might be like, well, I'll give you a discount. But I don't think that he would do a whole new interview for me for free, because ultimately that's on me. That's my risk, right? In the same way that if he does a show and the promoter doesn't promote it and only half the audience shows up, Boosie's still going to get paid when he gets paid. Because there's agreements, and I understand that going into these situations that I'm taking all the risk. I'm taking 100% of the risk. Boosie's stuff gets demonetized all the time. Full interviews have gotten demonetized. I take that risk. I've never, and Boosie, you know this, I have never once came back to you and said, listen, I didn't make as much as I thought on this interview. Can you kick me back something or give me a discount or whatever else? I've always taken that on the chin, myself, every single time, because I understand business-wise, that's what we go in doing this together.
So I know you, Vlad. You.
Here we go.
That's a
Had this
fact.
whole thing probably times 100, right? About how I guess DJ Envy was saying, I don't think Boosie's worth that much, and he's like, Envy, you're wrong. With
That's a fact.
Big Boy, go do a free interview with Charlemagne. Go do a free interview with Drink Champs. You see what I'm
Because
saying?
you know what the difference is?
What's that?
They're calling them.
Yeah.
You're calling him, but
Yeah.
you're giving him opportunity.
And
you
listen,
think-
man, I was cool with that. And look, people were basically hitting up Boosie because he responded to this. He said, people are saying that he fumbled the bag. That he fumbled the bag with
He did.
Vlad. He was 25,000, and so forth.
It's 100 a year.
Boosie didn't fumble the bag. Boosie's fine. And Boosie's talking about how, this weekend he's going to make $100,000 in show money and so forth. And he is. Like, I believe that. He gets booked all the time.
That
He didn't
has
fu-
nothing to do with
Right,
the other
but
100 you
here's-
left on the table.
But here's, I think, something that everyone should know, right?
Now, this is where I disagree. I think Vlad should have kept this off.
And Boosie knows this because we've had this type of conversation in private.
You should have kept this one in private, Vlad. I'm going to be honest. Like, this is the type of shit that niggas stop being friends over.
Where Boosie is fumbling the bag at this point in his life is that he doesn't invest his money.
See, Vlad is actually having a real convo, but what black people hear is you called him broke. Like, yeah, you know how you fumble the bag? Yeah, that nigga ain't got shit.
And we've had this conversation. I showed him my stock portfolio, and I showed him how your money needs to start working for you. Because right now, Boosie's running around the country every weekend, throughout the week, doing shows at 43 years old and getting those bookings. At 53, 63, he's not going to want to move around like that. Like, a lot of my weekends are spent hanging out with my kids. A lot of my weekends...
Yeah, I don't think Vlad meant for it to come across like that, but hearing it, it sounds like you saying that nigga living from check to check. That alone will have a nigga, like, a nigga get mad at you type shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, black people and black people finances, they get mad, bro.
Spent just hanging out and just chilling, and I don't want to be flying all around because I've learned to invest my money, and Vlad Stocks is going to be launching pretty soon, where I'm going to break down how I got rich slow. I started with $100,000 in 2010, and it turned into 1-point-something million these days by slowly growing year after year. And if Boosie, I think if he had invested his money, and look, Boosie has a high burn rate. He's got a house. I heard him recently on Twitter complaining about property taxes. He's got a...
See, you're getting there, Vlad. Chill. You see, if that's your man's, you can't... And chat, I'm telling this on some real shit. I know people get upset with shit like that. And I guarantee, I'm telling you, Vlad probably not thinking like that, but I know. Like, I even tell you, like, yo, nigga, Offset got mad at me because I posted the shit about him losing and gambling. Nigga, I've lost $1 million in a day, nigga, gambling. I could say it. I've done that. You get what I'm saying? But, obviously it wasn't about me. It was me highlighting his loss, and he felt that was creating a narrative that he was broke. And I was like, no, bro, it's not even about you losing money. I don't think Offset's broke at all. I'm like, bro, you have a habit that's keeping you in the casino that's putting you at risk. That's the thing. But he was just caring about the narrative. He was like, man, he cared about the number. That's why Wack came on here. It was like, yo, there was talking about the 800,000 number. Like, he cared about the numbers so much because people were starting to say, nah, Offset broke. Oh, he literally, this is a conversation with me and Offset. Offset was like, yo, Ack, bro, man, like, you my man, like, bro, like, some of these niggas think I'm broke now. It's like, yo, I might have to go up like $5 million on a gram. And I'm like, don't do that. Like, no. But I get why he's saying it. Like, niggas do feel offended when you're kind of like putting it out there like they're broke. You know what I mean? And I try to like clear it up with the Offset thing. Like, he's not broke. Like, you know what I mean? The niggas I just think he has lack of self-awareness that keeps him in places that could get him fucked up. Not like that, but, whatever. But he did care about the fact that my commentary about it or whatever I posted made him look like he was broke. Like, he don't want to look broke. Like, nobody want to look broke. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying that because I know, like, just me and Offset, like, Offset was mad at me about that. And, I don't know. They're probably way cooler friends than me and Offset. But, yeah, I could imagine Boosie's like, what? Nigga, you over here telling niggas that I'm living weekend to weekend, just making money through the week, and that basically I'm fucked up. That's how niggas hear this shit. Facts. That's how niggas hear this.
a lot of kids that he loves. He's a great dad. So he's buying his kids cars and clothes. He's always in designer. He's got a lot of jewelry. He flies around everywhere. And he's constantly putting hundreds of thousands of dollars back into his home to create this incredible home for himself. But that's not really an investment because that's just for himself. Boosie's never planning on selling this house. That's just for him and his family and his legacy. So the fact that Boosie doesn't have millions and millions and millions of dollars that are making money for him.
Yeah, nah, I think he's talking facts, but Boosie's not going to take this like that. Yo, you telling this nigga that you're basically shitting on him financially. Like, yo, yeah, I got millions, I'm good. You don't.
I think he's always chasing after the bag. He's always trying to make an extra couple thousand here, make an extra couple thousand there. And in the process, you end up straining relationships that are great relationships like what we have. Me, I don't care about that. My money, I have millions of dollars that are working for me every day. So I don't really care about that. I don't care about interviews. I don't care about an extra 5,000 or whatever else. But also, when people say that, well, you're not going to tell me what my value is, I'm not going to tell you what your value is in life. I'm not going to tell you what your value is
But on
when
your
it comes
platform,
to...
you can.
On
You
my
see the
platform,
numbers.
I can tell you that because on my platform, there's a track record of what you bring financially, and I'm basing those numbers based on the value of Vlad TV. Now, your show money's something different. Your feature money's something different. I can't tell you about that. And I feel like people sometimes turn it into like a racial thing. Like, oh, this white guy's telling this black guy what he's worth and so forth. No, I'm not doing that.
Listen, any guy can tell any guy if he's looking at the analytics what he brings to their table.
That's all it
Do you
was.
think, I think the elephant in the room is 6ix9ine.
I mean, I heard that. Boosie's never told. I paid Boosie more money than anyone's ever paid him for interviews, period. And it's not even close. It's probably 100 to 1 when you look at the next person who's paid him. And we've been rocking since 2006. And we played a video of how young we were 20 years ago doing these interviews. Boosie's a baby. I'm like, I think in my early 30s. It's one of those things, man.
And chat, what I was saying about ego and shit like that, it's easier for somebody, like, for example, it's easier for somebody to diss me or diss a media personality and you get over it and say, you know what, I'm going to make money off the content anyway. Let me go do an interview with them. If you call an artist irrelevant and you say like, oh, they're irrelevant, they suck, they a bitch, if they go back and do an interview with you, they look 3 million times crazy. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes it harder for Boosie to come back. But whatever. I don't know.
And at the end of the day, I respect Boosie. He's going to put out his own interview. He's going to Patreon, which is interesting. So it's not publicly being released. So you're not going to be able to compare apples to apples.
Somebody got in his ear and said you could do your own shit.
And he should absolutely do his own shit. Him doing his own shit doesn't stop him from doing shit with other people. But he's going to release it through Patreon. And listen, I hope Boosie does well. At the end of the day, I have nothing bad to say about Boosie, period. But Patreon is a hard platform because you're requiring people to go from a totally different platform, which is Instagram and Twitter, which is where mostly his audience is, or even YouTube, in terms of where my audience.
By the way, yo, thank you, King Raji says, nah, Boosie got to box Vlad on some friendly fade shit, man. Like Rocky and Apollo in Rocky 3. Vlad is wildin'. Buddy called him working weekend. That's how I heard it. And I know he doesn't mean it like that. Or he can't. Because, like, I think he's just trying to say that Boosie is still on the circuit hustling. But that doesn't mean that, you know, Boosie ain't up millions. I hope that's what he means. Because I think Boosie's up millions. But the way he said it kind of made it seem like Boosie working paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean?
Lives and go to a totally different website to put in your credit card number and start with this whole ecosystem. And let me tell you, Patreon gave me the worst possible offer I've ever had in my life. Did I ever tell you about this?
No.
Patreon said that, because I have a big membership on YouTube, right? So they approached me and they said, listen, we want, you have a big membership on YouTube. We want to do a deal with you. And we're going to guarantee you 2 years on Patreon, what you're making on YouTube. And I said, okay, this sounds like an interesting conversation. This is a conversation that's, a 6-figure conversation.
Uh-huh.
So we're starting the conversation. I said, okay, before we go on.
Okay, he started talking about Patreon. Anyway, the point is, it's interesting to see how this Boosie thing actually, how this is going to play out. I think this new piece of content puts it in a place where if Boosie Boosie has to come groveling back, or there's no prideful way for him to re-enter without us saying, didn't niggas tell you were wildin'? So this made it where Boosie can't save face. And a lot of times when you deal with people with ego, you want to allow for room of, hey, you know what? I finally got what he was saying. He finally got what I was saying. We got cool. He's back. With this shit, it made it seem like Boosie's working weekend to weekend, down bad, and Boosie's tweaking, which I think that is more of a, it's a hard place for Boosie to come back from when especially people look at Boosie in a particular type of way. All good. Let me do this. And I'm going to have to go grab my dogs while we do this because they are barking and it's after motherfucking midnight. I know my neighbors are like, oh my God, I hate these dogs. Okay, so let me see. What do we want to watch? Okay, so let's get into this Foolio trial. And this is a case of, by the way, this was the opening statements, and they caught one of these guys laughing.
Of Davion Murphy and any gangs in the Jacksonville area.
Look.
See some confusion as to which Murphy. So please keep that in your mind. So what are the facts of this case that the state outlined for 3 hours? And that is, we'll agree that on June 23rd, 2024, Charles Jones, known...
Yo, this guy is crazy. This guy's cracking jokes and opening statements. The jury's in the room. I don't know what... It looked like he's writing a note or he's reading a note. I think he might forget that he needs to have some etiquette or courtroom etiquette. It's the reason why you're wearing the suit. It's the reason why you got, you got your look together to be presentable and to look like someone that's not capable of doing the crime. Why, during opening statements, would you now start to, crack jokes? It's the same type of demeanor we seen with the girl. She was playing with her hair. She started laughing at a few things. She was chuckling. I think these are bad body languages by someone who's facing the rest of their life in prison. But I'm going to be honest with you. These guys, they kind of come across to me as, it's all going to come out in sentencing if they get found guilty. Like, no judge is going to, it automatically carries life anyway, but no judge is going to have any type of leniency on these guys when you're kind of like laughing and, you're like mocking the process a bit, or at least not understand the seriousness of the moment, right? You're facing life. This is opening statements. At least look concerned, look engaged. If you can't control your facial movements or your laughter, bro, just keep your head down. You get what I'm saying? Right? Just don't do what this guy's doing.
Known as Foolio, was in fact shot and killed at the Home 2 Suites in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Florida. As a result of that homicide, 5 people were originally charged. Isaiah Chant, Sean Gathright, Rashad Murphy, Alicia Andrews, and Davion Murphy. That's why we're here, okay? And what was the motive for that homicide? The state alleges that it was a gang war, and it may well have been a gang war. They went through a number of individuals over the years, all the way back to, I believe, to 2018, and I'm not going to go through them all, but I believe they talked about Spaz and Bibby and Jake Jidd and Lou Hobie and Tilly and Mr. Jones himself, who was
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm grabbing my dogs. It's going to take like 2 minutes.
shot, that this was the background of the gang war that was going on. So that it's absolutely clear, Mr. Davion Murphy is in no way a suspect, a defendant, or anything to do with any of those homicides and the attempted homicide on Mr. Charles Jones, okay? It has nothing to do with Davion Murphy. It has to do with the alleged gang wars between some gangs. So just make sure that that's clear. Also, the state, in its opening, went into the drill rap videos. Again, they're alleging that this is part of the motive for the death of Charles Jones, that these drill rap videos were dissing or being disrespectful to each other, and that's what caused part of the wars that apparently allegedly go back to 2018. We're talking about spent events and Youngson Ace, and these are some of the drill rep performers, and some of which, but again, so that we're clear, this is part of the motive, and nowhere in any of those videos, those drill videos, is Davion Murphy mentioned, a participant, name brought up, or anything. It has nothing to do with Davion Murphy, okay? And I believe we're going to find out from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office detectives who are part of their gang enforcement unit. There's 2 or 3 of them. Each are just assigned to different particular gangs. I anticipate we're going to find out that none of them had heard of or knew anything about Davion Murphy prior to the homicide of Charles Jones. All right. We'll have to listen to the detective's testimony, and I submit to you they had no knowledge of any involvement of Davion Murphy in any gangs in the Jacksonville area up until the time of the death of Charles Jones. So what is the state's evidence?
Okay, forget all this.
Black and powder.
This is the opening statement from his lawyer. What is actually relevant is some of the evidence that, bro, I'm going to be honest with you, these niggas are cooked. Here we go. So apparently...
Opening statement on behalf of your client.
Days before.
So apparently the way how this trial is going to go, and this happens a lot when you have a conspiracy or a murder case with multiple defendants, there'll be like a kind of a cohesive defense theory, which is, hey, I ain't do nothing, and I don't know about nobody else doing nothing. However, I think there's so much evidence that's in this case. Most of these guys, their only way out is to basically say, I was there, but I didn't do shit. Or to downplay what they did and kind of blame it mostly on other people. So what we're seeing is that these guys are willing to turn on each other. Listen to this.
It wasn't a situation where they followed someone to where they thought they were going to be. No one knew they were going to be at this Home 2 Suites. We've seen a picture of Isaiah on the phone, not his phone, on
His girlfriend's phone.
Alicia Andrews' phone,
Yep.
talking to who they believe Sean Gathright. Look for the state to be able to prove what is the contents of that phone call. I submit they will not be able to prove what was said in that phone call. And definitely not be able to prove that phone call had anything to do with the
This
murder.
is a defense attorney.
They want you to assume it did. They want you to say it probably did. But that's not beyond a reasonable doubt. I would also submit that that's the only time that he's seen with Alicia's phone. And that will be stacked on the inference that he had knowledge.
Okay.
Doing something, stacked on the inference that he had knowledge. And you can't stack inferences. You also were shown that
So this looks like it's a lawyer for Isaiah Chance, which is the boyfriend of Alicia Andrews. So they're gonna go say, hey, if he was on the phone and he's not coordinating, he's not giving the location or nothing like that. He's just talking. Like, you can't infer that he was doing all these things.
that Isaiah didn't get to the crime scene, allegedly, until, we know for a fact, till after the shooter's car was already there. They were there first and he was there. We also know, as Mr. Harmon pointed out, the shooter's car was watching Mr. Jones leave Truth 18.
Okay, so this is why it's an interesting defense strategy. So this guy is clearly Isaiah Chance's lawyers. He's basically, part of his case to defend Isaiah Chance is to affirm the state's story that the shooters are the other guys. So he's kind of helping the state by basically working off their theory that the other 3 shot and killed Foolio. He's just saying, yeah, he's like, to help prove that Isaiah is innocent, right? I'm just going to show that basically he had nothing to do with what they did. But remember, by utilizing the state's theory, you actually make it, remember, they're all co-defendants. They didn't get separate trials. They tried to. They didn't get it. It makes it that, oh, okay, so you are kind of defending this guy by claiming the other guy's guilty, which I'm pretty sure at some point they're gonna make they got to make a determination of how much of that could be done without Isaiah Chance taking a stand, right? Because you can't be, you're all co-defendants. You can't be testifying and kind of like pointing fingers at the other guys without the defendant taking a stand.
So they knew when he left. Mr. Harmon also showed that Isaiah was driving at Teasers. That's the only time he's seen driving that silver Cruise. Just like that's the only time he's seen on the phone, on Alicia's phone. Yet Mr. Harmon continued to say through his opening, here's Isaiah texting from her phone. Here's Isaiah texting from her phone. Here's Isaiah sending this from their phone. There's no proof of that. I asked you to look for proof that Isaiah ever used her phone more than once. We have the one time on camera. They need to prove the other times. You cannot just assume every time her phone is used, Isaiah is the one using it. Without proof. I submit there will be none. Just like you cannot prove, you cannot assume that just because that silver Cruise is driving, that Isaiah is the one driving it.
Okay, so he's trying to say three things off rip that he's trying to help, the case that Isaiah Chance is innocent, right? He's saying, well, you can't prove who he was talking to on the phone. You can't prove that he was driving, and you can't prove that he gave nobody the drop. And these are three things that are his involvement that you guys are claiming. You can't prove either of them, right?
I submit you will not be able to, there will be no evidence showing that he's driving it at Truth 18, and no evidence that in that video at the crime scene, you'll have no evidence of who's driving the car. And you intend. And they will lean on social media. You saw the spaces. That requires a lot of speculation as to what exactly that meant weeks before in what Mr. Harmon referred to as an argument. I would take umbrage with that. Okay. The evidence and heard all the witnesses. I believe the only just verdict will be not guilty. Thank you.
All right, so that's Isaiah Chance's lawyer, okay? That was the lookout with the girlfriend. Now, these are the three shooters' lawyers coming up.
All these people who are allegedly involved, who have motives to want to kill each other, he doesn't fit into that anywhere. You don't see any evidence of him having any connection to any of these rap videos, or really any of these people that you heard about this morning, frankly.
So I could see where he's about to go with this. So the Davion Murphy and the other guy, the two Murphys, or I think it's the two Murphys, they're going to say, hey, these are older guys. They don't have a beef with Julio Foolio. Julio Foolio is a relatively young guy. The people he were beefing with are more likely Isaiah Chance, who is in the gang called ATK, and or affiliated with the gang ATK, and also Sean Gathright, who was a younger guy that was kind of around his age. Not us, not the older guys. The older guys got no problem with him. So they're basically just kind of like all pointing the finger at each other, right?
You won't see any connection between him and Charles Jones, or any reason he would want Mr. Jones to be harmed. You heard a long backstory this morning about these reasons why people wanted Charles Jones killed. But what I want you to remember is when the vast majority, if not all of those things took place, all these prior events, these prior shootings that allegedly precipitated the shooting of Charles Jones, he was a kid.
Oh, never mind. This is Sean Gathright. This is the 18 or 19-year-old. This is the youngest one.
I don't mean Mr. Gathright was 17. I mean, he was a child when most of that stuff took place. Where does he
Yeah, nigga was playing Call of Duty with phase sensor.
Fit into this motive to want to kill Charles Jones?
If anyone should get the needle, I think it's him. I am very weary of these young motherfuckers who think they're above the law. Usually, I want the young ones to get a death penalty more than I want the old ones to get the death penalty. Because when a kid is like 16, 17, 18, they run around like nothing could stop them. They're the most ruthless because they don't think about life. And also they think if they get caught, some juvenile shit. Yeah, if anybody gets the needle, I want him to get it.
I expect you will hear some detectives from Jacksonville who knew a lot of these people, had been researching a lot of these people involved, and they were on their radar because they knew there was violence taking place between these different
Nigga said that's LaMelo Ball. Hey, y'all.
groups, these gangs in Jacksonville. And I expect every one of them that you may hear from this week, I'm going to ask them, have you ever heard of Sean Gathright? And every one of them is going to say no. I had no idea who Sean Gathright was until Tampa police contacted us. These are people who are investigating all of the players allegedly involved. They have no idea who Sean Gathright is. People who are with Charles Jones the night of the shooting, you heard about several of them, several people who unfortunately were shot themselves and survived. None of them know who Sean Gathright is. I expect that's what you're going to hear this week. Other people who were in Charles Jones' entourage that you may hear from, I expect none of them are going to know who Sean Gathright is. It's a piece that simply doesn't fit into the puzzle. Some things you will hear, I expect, over the course of these next couple of weeks. The weekend that Charles Jones was having the show here in Tampa, Mr. Guthright's sister was having a birthday party in Orlando. And you will hear that he was friends with Isaiah Chance. He had met Chance, I believe, through his older sister. They weren't particularly close, but they had developed a friendship for a short time prior to this happening. But he has really no connection between either of the other two defendants in the case, or I think you'll see really anyone else that you're going to hear about in the next couple of weeks. But in any event, yes, he does. He travels down here with plans to go later to his sister's party in Orlando and to see his grandmother along the way. And you're going to hear he's here
Okay. Boring. Let's get to another one of them. That guy goes
to you in his presentation.
Now, these guys are clearly representing the two brothers, which the two brothers are the older guys, but they're the guys, their last name is Rashad.
About what occurred at the hotel and where the entourage with Mr. Jones traveled from one place to another did, in fact, occur. That is not a point in dispute, what occurred. The question, as you listen and as you receive the evidence over the upcoming days into weeks, we'll see how that goes.
Okay, I'm going to try to skip a little bit.
Leads you to believe other things are dangerous. In order to find someone guilty of any crime based on circumstantial evidence, you must find.
Yo, this nigga got the face. Yo, this nigga got that look on his face like, just give me life. Just give me life, man. He going through the phases, man.
That the indirect evidence is proof of one or more facts, which you can.
You can tell he doesn't want to go to sleep, bro.
Find another fact. Don't be led.
When this nigga falls asleep the first day in his own trial, you know this nigga, he already got his bunk reserved in prison, nigga.
To rely solely on inferences to support the necessary elements that are required by the law to sustain the state's burden of proof without carefully connecting the dots.
So this attorney keeps saying this is circumstantial evidence. Okay, technically I guess it's circumstantial evidence, but the nigga is caught on 4K video on a Tesla side cam running with a gun, and I guess yes, some type of facial covering, but I guess the circumstantial evidence is we see you there doing the shooting, and if we track your whereabouts and we also track your fucking cell phone, we know it's you, even if you got a shiesty on, dummy. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I know they're saying circumstantial evidence, but it's like, this nigga's on camera.
Which unequivocally will become a period at the end of the sentence. consider along the way the state's use of evidence and statements that say to you they did this or they did that during the balance of the trial over these next 2 weeks. Remember again that every defendant, Rashad Murphy, Davion Murphy, Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, they're all charged with the most serious crimes that we have. And as you listen to the evidence, keep it.
Okay.
Remember, are not crimes.
All right.
For gratitude.
Then this is the last one. Okay, cool. So they kind of, you could see they don't really have a cohesive defense strategy. It's hard to do that. Obviously, Isaiah Chance, he's caught on camera walking without a shiesty. He's caught with another defendant who already went through trial, which is his girlfriend. He can't say he was not there. By the way, cell phones place all these guys there. Only one guy didn't use a cell phone or didn't use he didn't bring his cell phone with him, but then he used someone else's cell phone the entire time. Most of these guys are caught on camera at some point, and if their thing is, oh, I was never there, that's pretty cooked. So now it's like, you're there, but why are you there? So with this guy, LaMelo Ball over here, he's saying, I never had no beef with Foolio. And these other two right here, they're going to try to use the same strategy. Oh, we never had no beef with him like that. Even though there is some ties there with beef. But this guy was so young, like he's 19. So like a couple years ago when in the midst of like all this ATK, KTA beef or whatever, essentially he was too young. He really wasn't involved. So they're saying he has no motive. These other guys, they're saying that, hey, there's no full proof, but they're kind of cooked. And Isaiah Chance, they're saying, hey, listen, there's no proof that he actually was complicit in this murder at all. Okay? That's what they want to say about him. So if I had to rank who has the best chance of, getting a good judgment here, it would be Isaiah Chance, right? Then it would be, I think these three are cooked. Like, they're the gunmen. They're caught on camera, like, you know what I mean? I think Isaiah Chance finessed these fucking fools. They're like, nah, I'm going to just go with my girl and be the lookout, right? At least you could be like, you could try to lie and be like, nah, I ain't know what was going on. Yo, they just told me to tell them where the next spot was. I never knew they were going to kill somebody. He's going to play dumb, right? Like his lawyer said, oh, how could he be the lookout person? He got to the spot after the killers got there in the car. That's not a lookout. Yeah, he gets to play dumb just like his girlfriend played dumb. The shooters, it's either you did or you didn't, brother, okay? Now, as we kind of go down this, I have to show you the... So there's a few things. They did bring up the detective, the guy who was present at the crime scene. But I want to show you during the opening statements, them showing, this is like the most ridiculous thing you'll ever see, chat. This is them showing, well, actually, no, it was today, but it was at, hold on. Okay, yeah. Yep, here it is.
State ready
So.
to proceed.
Okay, yeah.
And,
so this is how it starts.
Defense ready to proceed.
Everybody's ready to go. So now they're going to show this. That's the prosecutors. And the prosecutors is going down this beef, this long history beef of these two rival gangs, and they're kind of showing how this plays a part. So they're laying motive out.
August of 23.
Okay. They do play music videos in this.
In addition to the drill rap, they would post photos on social media making fun of the opposing gangs' casualties. I'm going to walk you through a couple of videos that you will see in the state's evidence. This video is a combination 1200 ATK video. The major performer is an individual named Kenyatta Bullard, also known as Youngin Ace or Ace. Spinabins is one of the performers who is a well-known drill rap gang member in Jacksonville, and Wapa with the Choppa is another. You can see in this photograph in the
Love that
background,
name.
Young and Ace in the yellow. Kenyatta Bullard, AKA Young and Ace. And you can see his ATK chain around his neck. In this video, you will see these performers at times during the video pointing up in the air, and you will see the names of people appearing on the screen. Those are casualties from 6 Block. Those are people who were murdered on the opposite side. And you will hear them talking about them in this drill rap. So we see here the title to the drill.
Okay. So they started playing it. I think they muted because they don't want to get copywritten. With Law and Crimes does. They played in court.
So you heard the name Bibby, Adrian Gaynor, one of the people that we discussed earlier in the gang war. That was just one of several that they were pointing out. Who I smoke, meaning who is killed or shot. So we saw Spinabins and Wappa with the Choppa. Spinabins Noah Williams came out with this song concerning this murder, this song being released within a couple of days of the murder of Charles Jones. It's called Foolio Dead. Now, that last video, the Who I Smoke video by Young and Ace, these videos are not just put onto YouTube. Young and Ace is a celebrity. He has tens of millions of followers on Spotify and YouTube. These songs attract a lot of attention. This song, as I said, was put out within a day or two of the death of Charles Jones here in Tampa. You're going to see references and hear references in this to not only Charles Jones' name, but to the name Six, Mr. Six, or Six, meaning 6 Block.
Okay. They blurred this out again. This is about another song. This is kind of like breaking down all this
Several
beat.
people that are opposing gang casualties. You will see a poster that he is holding and walking around that has 3 photographs on it. 3 young men that were all murdered in a shooting that involved Kenyatta Bullard, Young and Ace, who was the only survivor of that shooting.
Okay, so they're playing When I See You.
Several times, and it was affiliated to the wrong group.
So they're basically like breaking down all this type of stuff. They're breaking down the stalking. This is all the stalking here. This is the video from when they actually see the guys.
Mr. Jones, Dodge Charger, pulling into the portico.
And you're gonna see the guys run from here. They start shooting.
And you can see up here that's a few minutes off. It's actually around 4:34, 4:35 a.m. in the morning. Okay. So if you're looking, so what happens is while they were out that night, he had made a reservation, but because they arrived so late, it was given away.
Yeah, so their reservation, they didn't check in, and now
Once they exit and they go into the hotel to use the restroom.
Wait, who's that?
Miss Albritton, who was dressed.
Let's go back.
You're going to see an individual named Taifa or Taifa McCrae and Miss Albritton, who is dressed in an all-pink suit, who are friends of Mr. Jones. They exit and they go into the hotel to use the restroom, and they're actually inside the lobby when the shooting occurs. When Taifa got out of the front seat of the Altima, another young lady, Camilla Bentley, slid in behind him in the front seat. Now you're going to see another car come by. This is a small silver Chevy Cruze. This you will find in the evidence is the surveillance tracker vehicle that was utilized by these conspirators, by these defendants, to follow, to track and stalk Mr. Jones and his friends, giving real-time, by communications, by phone, real-time location data and information about where he would be. This car passes by, being driven by defendant Isaiah Chance, his girlfriend. You saw her earlier. Miss Andrews is in the front passenger seat.
Oh, so they drive right by.
The assault team is already present on the west side of the hotel. That was the car that had pulled in earlier and went northbound and did not pass the portico. This is a mounted camera, by the way, folks, on the hotel. That's
okay, let's get to the shooting. So that car, that's the lookout car, leaves.
The evidence will show that he goes down, he does a U-turn and comes back north on McKinley and passes the hotel just before the shooting begins.
Yeah, so they go down and then they drive back passing the area. This is Isaiah Chance.
There's the shooter.
Damn. Holy shit.
This is the hotel just before the shooting begins. There's the shooter.
Oh, they shot into this car too immediately. I remember we looked at this.
Xavier Edwards.
Oh, this nigga hit the reverse quick. They crashed.
Tries to escape from the shooting. You can see the other two cars, one being driven by Camilla Bentley, who's going forward, the other one being driven by Armani Turner, who's going backwards. In their haste to flee from the shooting, they actually collide with each other, and they both end up going southbound on McKinley. They go different directions. Now, this is what I was talking about, where by the palm trees you will see a head pop out right before the full appearance of the shooters. That is Rashad Murphy. You will see another shooter run over to that tree just to the center of the video screen, just to the right of that Lexus SUV. The evidence will show in this case that that is defendant Gathright. On the top of the screen, you see a Mercedes SUV and a yellow car, and you see an individual moving around. The evidence will show that is the defendant, Davion Murphy, who was firing. And you can see in this evidence that Mr. Edwards attempts desperately to flee from these shooters, but what he actually does is he drives directly into a crossfire.
Yeah.
A vortex, if you will.
Yeah, this guy almost shoots this guy, I think.
Of high-powered rifle fire. The car flees down the west side of the hotel, heading north. Now, just around the corner, wrapping around to the west side of the hotel, the attack team parks the car, they get out and move into position coming around to that corner. As they move through there, they pass a Tesla. This is a video from a Tesla. There are multiple screens and videos you will see from this Tesla, which was in Sentry mode, activated and recorded. Officers met with the owner the next morning, who showed them this video on the screen inside of the Tesla, and they were able to collect this video. In this instance, and you can see to the far right, you can see a charging station with cables hanging off of it. You will see in the grass area by the charging station, you will see Davion Murphy running by, holding a rifle, wearing all black with an orange ski mask. And he's heading up to that area by that yellow Bronco and the Mercedes SUV where he later pops out. Now, in a minute, you're going to see Xavier Edwards accelerating that Dodge Charger around the corner. You'll see its headlights sweep across those, I believe, probably cypress trees right there. There comes the headlights. He is now fleeing up the northwest.
Okay, you guys have seen this before. I don't want to keep, okay, now they basically showcase the victims. These are the people who were, they were shot at, but they were not injured. God damn, what the fuck? Blood clot, dog.
Mr. Jones charged west side of that hotel. John Murphy unload with that rifle down.
This nigga was moving like he was in a fucking movie, huh?
The west side of that hotel. Mr. Jones, Charger.
Nigga, this is a Charger? Oh, shit.
After being impounded and transported to the Tampa Police Department. Impound lot, all of those yellow marks, other than the ones on the hinges, are going to be impacts. So you see Miss Turner, Mr. Jones' girlfriend in the upper left. She was in the Hyundai. Miss Randolph, her friend, was in the Hyundai. And Robert Howard, who is a friend of Charles Jones, was in the Hyundai with those women, sitting directly behind the Dodge Charger. You see Tafa McCrae and Aaliyah Albritton, the woman who was in the pink outfit, who were in the Nissan Altima. Xavier Edwards was wounded. He was shot in his right arm. He had a grazing wound to his head. Shot in the shoulder. This is him at the hospital being treated. Sustained multiple gunshot wounds. And you can see lacerations from glass or projectiles to his left hand. He is one of the victims of one of the attempted murder counts charged against Davion and Rashad Murphy and against...
oh, yeah, the last name is Murphy, not Rashad. Yeah, Murphy. So it's Davion and Rashad Murphy, sorry.
Sean Gathra is a longtime friend of Charles Jones, going back several years into their youth. He was in the back seat of the Charger. He had come with Mr. Edwards, and Mr. Jones had traveled here from Jacksonville to celebrate the birthday. When they arrived here, it was on Friday night, and they stayed at an Airbnb in Pinellas County. The next day, they stayed at an Airbnb in Pasco County and Holiday. And I'm going to show you here shortly where Mr. Jones was posting on his Instagram account that he would be here in Tampa. He actually appeared at a couple of clubs and put up advertisements for those appearances. But he is going to be appearing at Teasers. You see that in the middle of the advert.
Okay, you guys know all this. This is them showing up.
Friends. That is the Impala, the black car.
This looks like a gun. Who is this, though?
Yeah. We're talking about how they're going to load the heaviest bags into the trunk first. The BMW on the top part of the screen belongs to Mr. Chance. He would later go and retrieve his girlfriend, Miss Andrews, and bring her back to this residence. And that's in Jacksonville. Now, at some point that afternoon before they leave, Mr. Chance brings his contribution to the assault team. This is going to be in slow-mo, but you're going to see a Glock handgun with an extended magazine. You see his finger resting down the side of the slide. He tucks the gun into his waistband as he walks back into Mr. Gathwright's residence.
The youngest nigga was the richest nigga. Got 1 million cameras at the crib. And they decided to go to his crib to load up.
Notably, he knows the combination of Mr. Gathwright's residence. And you can see the extended magazine. 1.38 miles from the home to suites, just on the north side of the USF campus, the University of South Florida. Now,
Okay.
PM.
That's license plate stuff. McDonald's
Andrew's
stuff.
phone. So her phone becomes
That's the parking lot. They're getting the drop.
Mr. Jones and his friends leaving. You see the 3 cars with the taillights
This when they're leaving one of the clubs.
lighting up. The one on the left of the, so you can see.
They're showing how they got around. They went to the second club.
Now you're going to see them going up the stairs.
This is the video Foolio posted.
Down the park or down the sidewalk. They come back.
Yeah, they're showing everybody leaving. Showing the cars.
They'll head initially eastbound and then do a U-turn and go back westbound. Turn. Then the just
This is the next day. It's after shooting.
going to be a combined conglomerate of videos from that ring video at video and Miss Andrews and Rashad Murphy back to Jacksonville. They travel back in an Uber to get back in. Or he is going down. This has been accelerated. He's wiping the car down.
Oh, this is a Chance. His hair was different. Yeah.
Or he drives the 4Runner to Orlando and then back to Jacksonville.
No. This is not Chance. This is a Gathwright, I think.
And he takes this picture of Don Julio and posts it. You'll also see some other images from that evening. He is there with other people and appears to be celebrating. This would be the night of the actual murder, and then it goes into the early morning hours of the 24th. You can see in that photograph, again, just going back to show Mr. Chance and his girlfriend going out with their bags to the Infinity, which is an Uber driver. This is the Uber. There's the receipt from Uber in the middle. It's $187, a 208-mile ride from Gazebo Pond back to Chipperfield Lane in Jacksonville to Mr. Gathwright's address. Gives the route. Uber driver will tell you he picked up 3 people and dropped them off at the address, which is Mr. Gathwright's house. This is them arriving, again, back at the place that it all started, at Mr. Gathwright's house. Now, that's Miss Andrews by Mr. Chance's BMW. And you see Rashad Murphy in the light-colored jeans, holding the bag in his left hand with a beret or some kind of a cap on, opening the back door, putting a bag in it. You can see the Uber.
Okay, they're walking over there. Now they're talking about what they found on searches.
What? Go back.
Now we're going to get to the interrogation. That's what they found. So when they went in one of these guys' houses, they found shell catchers. I think this is showing Gathwright, which, by the way, his mom had to know he did the crime because most of the shit, they use most of the guns from his house.
Matched to back over his face, maybe a gaiter or some kind of a bandana. He's carrying a rifle, but you can still see a sliver of the top of his face, that it's light-skinned, and you can see his hands are light-skinned and that he has a very thin build. So we start here with Mr. Gathwright. This is when he is at his house. Remember?
Yeah, he had longer hair. Yes, so they're just kind of matching everything up. And, okay, they got all he starts sharing location. Nigga pick up the fucking phone. Nigga pick up. Okay, they pretty much got everything.
And that is, has a pink case. He's walking around. You can see the clothing he is wearing, the positioning of.
Okay, so he goes around trying to figure out, like, buy clothing or buy something that he was going to use in a murder.
Belt and the type of picked up on it.
And he had a Glock switch that he used in a murder.
Murphy's head.
They booked the Airbnb. Yeah, they got everything here, man.
They were members of a predecessor gang that became.
They post stories afterwards, kind of celebrating.
He admits that Mr. Chance, along with his girlfriend,
he had a COVID mask on.
When the cruise is right there by Home to Suites, right before the murder.
Chance's cell phone was being seen. Actually, was this his cell phone? Okay, they're doing a whole bunch of nonsense. He argues with he argues on this is Spaces. Perfect. Yeah, these guys are good. Yo, the cops even got them arguing on Spaces, bro.
That shit crazy. All right, cool.
The upper right of those icons. And just so y'all understand what you're going to hear is that all of these people in this chat room can talk at the same time. You're going to hear a lot of overlapping. You're going to hear a lot of young ladies talking. But you will clearly hear Charles Jones talking, and you will clearly hear Gutta Man, you can see his name on there, Mr. Chance, talking. They are arguing, and you will clearly hear Mr. Chance say, "Hey, Foolio, your foot okay, cuz? Your foot okay?"
Oh, this was back in 2024 then.
Arguing with Mr. Jones on that X Spaces app. Gathright receives communication from Rashad Murphy. On the left.
Make sure, bruh, in a good headspace before he go with his move. We got bigger shit to tend to. They ain't worth a nigga energy right now. Make sure, bruh, okay, he liked that. And he says, I ain't heard from bro today, but I'm going to check with him. So they probably not going to pick up. He on IG letting these niggas get him out of character. He turned up on that motherfucker right now.
Left. Make sure that's going to be Rashad Murphy. Make sure, bro, in a good headspace before he go with his move. We got bigger shit to tend to. They ain't worth inward energy. Below that, you see the response from Mr. Gathright. He likes it first, and then he says, I ain't heard from bro, talking about Mr. Chance today, but I'm going to check in with him. On the right-hand side, Mr. Rashad Murphy then sends this message. This is going around a little after 3 a.m. All
right, this wasn't the only part. I'm trying to show you the so that happens, and I gotta show you. When they interview, so they finally showed the interview portion where this nigga was in the interrogation room making all type of signs and symbols.
Actually happens throughout the hall. The blood that we see EMS utilizing.
Those have been used. I wouldn't be able to find. Yes, ma'am.
And did you or crying having these?
Okay. I'm trying to find it for y'all. Give me 1 second. Might just have to look at the actual live. That's probably what I got to do. It was day 2 tomorrow, but day 1 was today, and it's 8 hours. Okay, man. I'll find it. I'll find it. Okay. So what I'm trying to show you is just like, this is how cooked these guys are. So they go through everything. This was a really lengthy opening statement. He took like half the time. They took a break.
Up behind the other two.
Right? This is 4 hours in. They come back.
I was not aware of the specific plan it will be.
Okay. I'm missing a part then. I'm sorry.
That's fair, yes.
Okay.
And you also, at that time or during that.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, Chad.
There was.
We're set up.
Would have been she's speaking for me and rifles.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Okay, I might be off on this. Anyway, it's posted to my Instagram. Maybe I can see who was on the stand.
You will see tattoos. You see many on his neck and chest. He has a 1200 tattoo on the back of his neck. He has the name of people from 1200 who have been murdered tattooed on his body. And in this video, you will clearly see in the evidence.
Oh, okay. Yes, so that's early.
So is that any and all?
Okay, so they
Just take the volume down. Just.
so it started out with a hour of instructions. I'm trying to find it. Sorry, I'm trying to find it in this.
Mr. Rashad Murphy damage. Day and the ultimate crash shot is full realized. All
We are going to take a little bit of a later lunch.
Take a little later. Come on.
a list of phone numbers.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Gathright had got rid of his phone and was obtaining a new phone, had made a handwritten list.
Okay, so they found that. Jesus Christ.
It is picked up on an LPR flock system that Gwinnett County contracted the Airbnb at Lagoon.
Okay.
But he didn't know that it was being booked from a completely off air. Right. So
give me a second.
Of June 23rd, 2024, and we are going to drag that conspiracy out of that darkness and into the bright lights of this courtroom for you, all of you, and everyone to see its wicked and vile nature, to see the malice, and to see the premeditation.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the actual part.
Charles Jones. There were no more birthdays. All that was left was a funeral.
Does anyone know the timestamp?
State's evidence will prove to each and every one of you, beyond any doubt, we had a lot of discussions about proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
All right, fuck it. I'll just use this. Anyway, this was the footage I was dying to see. I was like, yo, this got to be lies. This got to be cap. So at one point during this whole fiasco, they're saying they finally locked this guy up. I think he was on the run for a little bit after they announced who the suspects were. They lock the guy up and they bring him to the interrogation room. And when they bring him to the interrogation room, you know, they take the cuffs off or whatever. They say, yo, we'll be back. And they're probably watching him on the video just to see how he is. This dude gets up and it's like he's practiced. He's still on killer mode. He's like, fa, 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 fa. Like he's actually making gun sounds. Listen.
Murphy, when he was arrested, you will see tattoos. You see many on his neck and chest. He has a 1200 tattoo on the back of his neck. He has the name of people from 1200 who have been murdered tattooed on his body. And in this video, you will clearly see in the evidence Mr. Davion Murphy taking full credit for his role in this shooting.
Yo, this thing has reenacted it.
That is just after his arrest, when he is left alone in an interview room. Mr. Murphy, when he was arrested, you will see tattoos. You see many on his neck and chest. He has.
Now, obviously, you know, again, you could be like, oh, now I was listening to one of my favorite songs. All good. But here's the reality. It's like, bro, y'all got one nigga laughing in court. This nigga gets locked up. He's making gun sounds in the thing. Bruh, tell us y'all not guilty while telling us y'all guilty. Like, come on, bro.
A 1200 tattoo on the back of his neck. He has the name of people from 1200 who have.
Yo, this is what I call crash dummies.
Been murdered tattooed on his body. And in this video, you will clearly see in the evidence Mr. Davion Murphy taking full credit for his role in this shooting.
That's insane. That's insane, man. Niggas like that play too much Call of Duty. Anyway, so that's pretty much the latest. That's pretty much the latest. That's only day one. That's only day one, chat. So we're gonna go into day two tomorrow. Obviously, they're gonna bring up, the investigators and all those type of people, and then they're gonna get some witnesses and obviously medical experts and stuff like that. But pretty much, I think this is kind of hook, line, and sinker complete. And it's complete in the fact that, bruv, these guys are on camera. They're being tracked digitally. Everything is lining up. You see the lookouts. You see the cars that they're driving. You see the Airbnb they're returning to. You see the bags that supposedly contain the guns. You see them trying to evade detection. They got handwritten notes with numbers on it. Like, any excuse they could have, like, oh, well, I didn't have my phone with me, or I wasn't there because my phone wasn't there. Well, you wrote a list of people to call on somebody else's phone. Insane, chat. Fucking insane.
State ready.
All right. I don't think we need any breakdown beyond that. I think that was a proper understanding of what the fuck happened. Okay, so let's get to this David thing real quick. So there is now a autopsy that got revealed. And the judge, if you guys remember, we heard the judge order the coroner's office, the medical examiner, to release the autopsy report as soon as possible. That's going to be obviously added to the discovery, and it's now going to be public record, which is, obviously this is a case of murder. Okay? Now, should I play this or should I just read it? I'll play Law and Crimes. Now, some of these details are kind of disturbing.
The autopsy report for Celeste Rivas Hernandez in the David murder investigation has just been released. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, so thanks for joining us here on this breaking sidebar. As I mentioned right here, this is what we've been waiting for in the David investigation, in the Celeste Rivas death investigation. This is the coroner's report. So it just came in, right? So after David was arrested, after he has been charged with the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, this is what we've been waiting for. The cause of death. This has been sealed for months, and this is providing a lot of details. I'm going to tell you right now, it is very difficult to read through this. It is gruesome, but this is going to be a key point for both the prosecution and the defense. We know that Celeste's body, the body of this 14-year-old girl, was found in the trunk of a
Okay, let's get on with it.
Rivas Hernandez was discovered at 1100 hours on September 8th, 2025, in the front trunk of a vehicle in a tow yard in Los Angeles, and death was pronounced by a detective with the LAPD. A deputy medical examiner conducted an examination of Ms. Rivas Hernandez on September 10th, 2025, at the DME's Forensic Science Center. The cause and manner of death were determined December 9th, 2025. A court order initiated by the LAPD previously prevented the DME from releasing its findings. And this is the statement of Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Ode Ukbo. After several months, I am grateful this information can now be released not only to the public, but also to the grieving family enduring loss. It is unfathomable they have had to wait this long to learn what happened to their daughter. The transparency of the information contained in our findings and reports is essential for empowering the community to make informed changes, to effectively reduce fear and allowing the community to take informed action. Making the department's information publicly available is not just about accountability, it is also about social justice and prevention. By ensuring access to this information, we strengthen our ability to learn, to act, and ultimately to prevent the next tragic loss of life. I want to extend my gratitude to our partner agencies for taking the necessary step of filing an order with the court to make this disclosure possible. Mary, I'll first start there. It's not every day you hear a statement like this from a chief medical examiner. Let's start right there.
That's true. Sometimes we don't want to release the specifics about the cause of death in an active investigation because perhaps it's information that only the killer would know. And so that's understandable that might be obscured initially. But I think what the chief medical examiner in LA is saying is that they had this information, they wanted to release this information, and they were thwarted in doing so.
And when you hear, so just I'm reading from it, right? So the date of the injury, they say, is unknown. The place of the injury is unknown. Pronounced date, time, September 8th, 2025, 11 a.m. Date of examination, September 10th, 2025. And it was completed, right? So December 9th, 2025. Is that time span typical?
I think from September to December, that's reasonable because they're awaiting certain specialty ancillary tests, such as toxicologic examination. And it's much harder to do on a decomposing body than if it were fresh deceased. So the fact that that takes a couple months to get that information so that that's part of the whole picture of, you know, what happened to this poor teenager, that's reasonable.
And just to be clear, as we talk about this, David.
All right. Okay. We have the entire thing here, so we're gonna break it down ourselves. You know, I like law and crime, but we want to get straight to the shit. Give me 1 second. All right, I've actually never read a coroner's report before, so this is gonna be the first time, and I guess the first time for everything, right, Chaz? We've never actually read one of these before, but here goes nothing. All right, here we go, chat. So this is the County of Los Angeles Medical Examiner report, and her name is Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez. Obviously, she was 14 years old at the time of her death. And the cause of death is being ruled as multiple penetrating injuries, homicide. Is how many injuries they're saying is with objects. Now let's see if we could. There's a summary and there's a narrative. The medical report summary is. Can you guys see this? Gotta make sure you guys can see it. There's 2 penetrating wounds to the torso. The right abdomen. There's an injury to the liver, and the left chest with a penetration of underlying intercostal space and cortical disruption in the adjacent ribs. Okay, so it kind of looks like they're kind of saying stabbing, right? But like stabbing to vital organs, it appears, right? 2 penetrating wounds. So right abdomen, I guess liver would be here. I'm kind of flipped, so like here if you're looking at it, and then left chest would be like maybe like down if they're saying to the ribs, like left chest to the ribs. So I guess they're kind of other findings: bilateral dismemberment of upper and lower extremities, okay, and multiple additional skin defects. And then we're gonna see toxicology reports, so we got to make sure we see that. All right, here's the narrative. She was found decomposed, and the autopsy was limited by extensive post-mortem changes. There are 2 penetrating wounds. Okay, the wound on the abdomen penetrates the liver, and the wound on the upper chest penetrates the space in between and will be adjacent to the cortical surfaces by the ribs. The left lung does appear intact. Okay, cool. All right, we're trying to simplify this a little bit, chat. Trying to simplify this, okay? So this is exactly what a coroner is going to release, and this is 12 pages, okay? Prior post is also really invasive. So, you know, again, trigger warning. Also, remember, we're speaking about a child here. So, you know, we might see or get a little bit more info than we care to really know. But this is all in the understanding that we are kind of like looking into a crime, not no other shit, okay? All right, post-mortem procedures. They did radiology. There is no donation, and they did not prepare the body for any mortuary. So they didn't do anything that could prepare it for mortuary transportation or, you know, for burial or something like that. Okay, external examination. Okay, cool. All right, these are all whatever. Tattoos, yes. Interesting. And so there's a tattoo on her finger, a right one, and it says it was the second medial, and the text on the tattoo says SH. Shh. Okay. Hair long. Okay. Eye color. Cool. All right. So this basically, you know, these are physical physical observations. Okay. External decomposition changes. So we're getting the state of the body now. So the skin color changed. The description was that the body was dark brown. It was drying. insect activity, which means she was being eaten by insects. I could imagine maggots and all that type of stuff. Multiple insect larvae was present, so insects were literally feeding on her body and having, offspring. There was a foul odor, as you'd imagine. She was decomposing for weeks. Other external decomposition changes. The head was partially skeletonized with an absent left eye. There is a liquefaction of the soft tissue. So they're saying that she did not have a left eye, and they're not actually saying that they believe that the eye was taken out, but they're feeling like through decomposition, maybe insects or whatever probably start eating at the eye. You get what I'm saying? Postmortem softening and whatever, discoloration. All right, cool. Other traumatic injuries. In the order of the injuries, okay, cool. All right, skin defect. All right, cool. All right, it's more. It's okay. So these are describing how she was stabbed. Again, once again, trigger warning here, people. I'm expecting we kind of cover a lot of these type of criminal stuff. Just expecting everybody to show a little bit of decorum. I know we're talking about a young girl who was brutally murdered. We're just trying to get the proper information, just that, nothing else, nothing more. Okay, so there's a 3/4 inch skin defect, and I would imagine looks like a stab wound or something, right? And I'm guessing that's the length of the blade or whatever. And they're saying it's involved the right abdomen. It's 21 inches below the top of the head, 1 inch right of the midline, and is 3/4 inch in length, penetrating wound with smooth edges. The wound is oriented in the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock directions. 3 and then so it's straight. It's okay. 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock would be just straight here. Okay, so it's basically almost like the knife was turned, like if this is a knife. Okay, like if this is the blade of the knife stabs straight here. So like horizontally, basically, that's what they're saying, right? The wound track sequentially perforates the skin and soft tissue right of the right abdomen and the liver. The depth is about 1.5 inches. So the person stabs or somehow punctures and goes about a inch and a half. And the direction of it is she got stabbed from the front. Wow. It's interesting. Then there's another skin defect. This one is well, if you look at it, 3/4 is really 12/16. So this one's a little bit smaller. This entrance is right below the lower chest, the left lower chest, and it's 15 inches below the top of the head, 6 from the midline, it's in third. And the path would sequentially perforate the skin. Okay, that's one that kind of stabs like towards the rib area. It did not hit the lung though. The wound track is at least 2 inches deep, so it's deeper than the first one, but it's more narrow than the first one, and the direction is actually left to right. Yeah, so remember it's like this way, The ribs show disruption, but the lungs are also intact. Okay. Multiple skin defects also are present over the torso, with many perforating the skin and soft tissue. Hemorrhage or associated internal organ injuries. Okay. Multiple fragments of blue plastic materials are found embedded in the cut surfaces. Representative fragments are collected by the examiner. Okay, cool. All right. So we're kind of, there's a lot of stuff here. And by the way, I'm gonna put this on our website, so you'll be able to see it. Like, you want to go through it yourself. Honestly, outside of us doing this on a stream, I pray that none of you guys ever have to read one of these about a loved one. But let's try to keep going. Okay, so her heart weight was 100 grams. Wow. Okay. All right. They have all type of stuff about her heart, the left ventricle. Like they really go in depth with kind of measuring out everything about the body in case these things could be used to really determine how this person died, whether if something happened, then it caused something to happen. Digestive system, everything is intact. Contents. So she had nothing in her stomach. Pill fragments is absent. By the way, again, you know, I know I'm probably overdoing it with the disclaimers. Again, we're kind of, the reason why this is important, we have a really hazy forecast of what happened with her. We don't know, right? We're kind of trying to figure it out, and we have to get as deep in, pause, as reading this coroner's report to kind of really, like, on a common sense, we do common sense shit here, but on a common sense level, make it make sense on how she died, right? Right now, we know she got stabbed twice, right? But, you know, there's many questions to ask. Was she fighting back? Was she restrained? How did this happen? Was she already, I don't know, like maybe she was fucking sleeping. Who knows? So we're trying to figure out all these things. But so, you know, that's why we're kind of going into some, you know, this is really in-depth stuff. Okay, so stomach contents was absent. So there's no food left there. Pill fragments, nothing. Her gastric mucosa was intact. Appendix is present. Everything looked like with the digestive system seems, you know, without significant pathological findings. The liver weight seems like it was 225, and they said the liver capsule, that seemed like there was some evidence of traumatic injury, okay? So we're going to look at what that is. Gallbladder present, that's normal. Pancreas is you know, unremarkable, okay. Urinary tract, okay, they measure everything, cool. Female reproductive tract, uterus is present, not enlarged, without endometrial lesions or hemorrhage. Okay, ovaries or whatever, appropriate for her age, without lesion, okay, cool. Usually sometimes if she was, you know, if someone had sex with her after death, some of these things could pop up in these reports as well. Okay, all right. So we're seeing a bunch of like kind of normal stuff other than stabbing, right? But we do see the head and the central nervous systems, as you can imagine, because she dies. There's a lot of like your brain and like your nervous system go through a lot of extreme changes, not only in trying to prepare or trying to like save you, but you know, you're dying. You get what I'm saying? So you see severe postmortem changes. I can imagine what that could be. Anyway, all right. Examinations are cool. Photos taken prior to. Okay, so this is another test they do. All right. I'm trying to get to some interesting stuff, chat. So the liver is affected a lot, that they're saying. Okay. So they take some samples, finger, nails, liver, jawbone. Okay. And they do toxicology. All right. These are the detectives that were interested in this. And okay. Now we're going to get to toxicology, chat. So here's the thing with toxicology. So it's confirmed that she had alcohol in her system at the time she died. This is a 14-year-old chat. Keep this in mind. So alcohol, ethanol, was found present in her system. I think I gotta see what these denoting means. Give me a second. What does PP mean? Is that present or not detected? I think it's PP means present, and ND means not detected. There's not a thing here, so I'm gonna go off of that until we see otherwise. Okay, so alcohol definitely present. In the drug screen, benzodiazepines. Okay, brings me back to my days of organic chemistry, huh? Whoa. I just typed in Benz. Silly me.
Decomposing body, then if it were fresh.
Okay, let's see what drugs come into that. Okay, that's Xanax. So let's just say that's Xanax. Okay, so she has alcohol in her system, Xanax in her system. I'm gonna say an ND means not detected. So no coke, no fent. Methamphetamines. What would that be? Is that like Molly? Or is that like Adderall? Methamphetamines. What the fuck? Oh, Molly, yeah. Let's just go with Molly. Okay. All right, so she has a little liquor, Xanax, a little Molly. There's no codeine or morphine detected, no hydrocodone detected, and no phencyclidine detected. Okay, but I mean, it's kind of, if I had a child and I figured and I realized they drunk off the Xans and taking motherfucking Molly, shit. Anyway, and I don't know what ink means, but I see a bunch of ND. Okay. Oh, okay. Here's a legend. ND means not detected. Okay, they gave a legend. Okay, great. ND means not detected, and PP means presumably or presumptively positive. So we were right. What does INC mean? INC, because they use that as well. INC, do we see it on here? Am I tripping? I think it means just included, because they included this up top. Okay, whatever. All right, so it looked like she was on 3 drugs, y'all. 3 drugs. She was on liquor, Xanax, and also some Molly. All right, let's keep it going. This is how they're saying that the wounds looked. Okay, the wounds are only here on the body. Now, this is a description of the body and talking about the defects. Okay. One of the fingers has sh tatted here. There's 2 fingers absent here. Interesting. Also, when you flip, also they're saying there's multiple linear abrasions, multiple defects. Bottom of what? Okay, so we know fingers were missing. Is there toes missing? No, there's no toes missing. But fingers are missing. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is interesting, chat. They're saying that she had a tattoo with his name. And they're saying he cut the finger off with the tattoo of the name. So, on one of the missing fingers, oh my God. Okay, wait, let me see. In one of the wait. Hold on. Unless I got that wrong. I heard, so the tattoo, the SHH or SH tattoo, yes, that was there, but they're saying that on one of the other fingers, they believe that on one of her fingers that was removed. Oh yeah, I'm not too sure if this is true, but they're saying the medical examiner says Celeste Rivas was killed by penetrating injuries, and she was missing her left eye, and the same finger she had David's name tatted on was missing. Wow. Now, I don't know if this is her actual finger here. And I don't know if it's officially confirmed. We all know she had a SH tattoo, but we don't know if she had his name tatted, but apparently he did. There's 2 of her fingers that were cut off. Interesting. And they're making it clear, like, this is not insects eating the fingers. That's her. She got those fingers chopped off. Wow. Okay. All right. Here's some more interesting stuff. Okay. Apparently she was 15, or maybe it was 15 at the time when this autopsy was done. I'm not too sure. Okay. Let me see if anything else. It's about the scene. Okay. I observed the decedent posterior and torso lying in prone in a body bag in the front trunk of a Tesla. Her head was oriented towards the north. She appeared to be of indeterminate age and ethnicity with dark hair and natural teeth. She was wearing a blue top, underwear, leggings, and socks. I observed multiple holes in the front and back of the tube top. She was missing both arms above the elbows. Wow. And both legs above the knees. Huh? Wait, how does the medical examiner not say that then? Hold on, let's go back up a little bit. So they're saying that there's none of this. So this is not here. And below the knees is not there. Oh, X top of body. Oh, did they make the cuts? Or they make the cuts? They said this isn't here. Oh, so 10 inches to the bottom of the heel is missing. So this is from like where her knee is. Missing. And then they're going to say from here. Oh, yeah, that seems like an amputation then, right? Then this is missing and then this is missing. Holy shit. And then and the hand is there, but then the two fingers are missing. This is some shit. This nigga must have had a power tool. Freaky little boy, man. Okay. Let's keep reading. Underneath the body bag was a black trash bag and it contained the decedent's appearance compiled bilateral arms and legs. So he left them. He left the arms and legs in the bag. They appeared to have been dismembered into several fragments. Oh. The decedent was in an advanced state of decomposition demonstrated by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction, insect activity, and partial skeletonization and skin slippage. I noticed a approximate 1-inch linear defect on her abdomen and circular defects on her left flank. The left ring and pinky fingers have been... Which hand do you like wear a wedding ring on? You wear a wedding ring on your left hand, right? And that hand was cut off. That finger was cut off with the pinky finger. So he cut these two fingers off. And I did not locate them during it. Okay, so he left everything else. So he cut the limbs off, but he left it in the bag. The fingers he took, or he discarded somehow. That's odd. She has a tattoo that reads "shh" on the inside of her right index finger. I did not observe any other discernible scars or tattoo. The decedent was not ID viewable due to the decomposition of the face and was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingers. She was assigned Jane Doe 550. They identified her by dental radiograph comparison, and they identified her parents of the death same day. Interesting. I believe this is the forensic scientist who gave a report. Prior to my arrival, the front was open, the body bag was unwrapped and open to view the decedent. The decedent was dismembered and inside a black body bag and a black trash bag. The decedent was severely decomposed. There was decomposition fluid on the outside and inside of the bags. The decedent was a female that had dark hair. Also, insect activity was observed on the body and the body bag. The body bag had a double zipper, 3 handles on each length side, and a handle on top with a on the top and a bottom with an. How does this guy get a body bag? Gotta check that nigga's Amazon cart. What the fuck he got in his Amazon cart? A body bag? Like, I thought it was gonna be like, yo, this nigga just threw her in like in a construction bag, like one of them heavy duty construction bag shit. This nigga had a body bag on deck. This guy might be a serial killer. Who the fuck has a body bag going on? A body, like, this is like a legit official body bag. It had a double zipper, 3 handles on each side. Like, what? Inside the front of the body bag contained the decedent's head and torso in a prone position. The head pointed north, thighs pointed south, and the trash bag, oh, there's a trash bag too, was at the south end of the front beneath the body. The trash bag was tied and contained the limbs, arms with hands and legs with feet. What? Arms with hands and legs with feet. Wait, did he cut the arm off? Then he cut the, oh my God, this is, holy shit. Yeah, this is some creepy shit, Chad. Holy this is
Specifically about.
okay. Wow. All right. So that's the latest, chat. Let me go to Law and Crimes to see if there's any more interesting things that was kind of like, that's kind of ridiculous. Now, if you don't know, according to the DA says that she was starting to threaten him about letting it go to the public that they've had a inappropriate relationship. Apparently, this was something that the fans knew that they were dating, but many of the fans, you know, he had young fans, so they're not looking at like this is inappropriate. They're like, oh, that's David. Like, you know, like they, you know, if there were females, maybe they fantasize about having a relationship with him too. So that didn't get, for the people who thought they were in a relationship, it didn't get to the point of, no, this is fucking wrong. But I guess she realized that, hey, no, you know what? Wait, hold on. Dude, you're not really supposed to be with me. And then she would use it and threaten him, like, you know, and kind of like, not necessarily saying blackmail, but, you know, kind of say like, hey, listen, I'll go tell the cops. And apparently for him to try to save his career, this and third, he's like, you know what? I don't know if it's, maybe she threatened him one too many times. Maybe she, you know, whatever. He's like, yo, I'm killing this chick, you know?
I want to break down a very beginning, and we're going to bring him on to discuss all of these for your child, but who's decomposed. The prosecution is going to present evidence to the court. He did not commit this murder.
April 23rd, 2025, as alleged in the complaint with Celeste while she was under 14 years old.
So in other words, according to authorities, David was allegedly having an illegal relationship with a minor. She was a witness to illegal sex acts, and she was going to, I don't know, expose him or threaten him, and he killed her. I wonder if that's a fair interpretation. The question is, what does that mean exactly? Was she going to go to the police? Was she going to post this to social media? How do they intend to prove that? I asked Nathan Hochman about this on my show, Jesse Weber Live on News Nation, and he basically said, I'm not going to get into the details of it. That will be more revealed during a preliminary hearing. But I want to preview what we can expect here, and I want to try to understand this, because this is new information. This is a new allegation. And before I even get into that and more, I just have one more update for you. So Celeste's family, who we really haven't heard from in the last 7 months, officially released their first statement. Quote, "We would like to thank the Los Angeles Police Department and the District Attorney's Office for their hard work. We would also like to thank the people of Lake Elsinore for all their support. Celeste was a beautiful, strong girl who loved to sing and dance. Every Friday night was movie night, and we spent wonderful times together. We love her very much, and she always told us that she loved us. We miss her deeply. All we want is justice for Celeste." Now, I'm happy they released this statement for a number of reasons. One, it's always good to hear from the family and get their perspective on this. But number two, we haven't heard a lot about Celeste. You know, we talk a lot about her as the alleged victim in this case, but to understand who she.
Okay,
you know, she's wearing a hoodie, a brown hoodie, which is his, and she just looked very. I said, you know, she looked very lost and confused, and I was saying that because I knew a little bit more of the story.
So this guy that they're interviewing, he's been like really following this case, and he's been actually really upset that there was an arrest early, because he was doing a whole investigation himself, and he's not with the police, but he was triggered by the story, and now, you know, he gets to talk a little bit more about it because finally there's an arrest and charges
behind it. And that was that, you know, Celeste had really lost respect for David. She knew that she had been, you know, here she was 14 years old. She'd been lured away from school and everything, you know, because of him. And I think she knew that she was in a really bad spot. And I don't think they were getting along great. I think that she had lost respect for him. And so this makes sense. And I do think that he was threatened by her.
So I was trying to get an answer from Nathan Hochman the other night when I had him on Jesse Weber Live. You know, was it the idea that she was going to go to the police? Was it the idea that she was going to post something on social media? And obviously said, you know, the details will come out during the preliminary hearing. Any of those ideas make sense to you? I mean, was she about to come forward with this? I imagine what she was going to come forward with, if you listen to what the prosecution's arguing, is that she was having, right, an illegal relationship with David, or if she knew something like about him having illegal sex acts with somebody else. I don't think that's what it is, but you tell me.
Yeah, so there's a couple elements to that. I think that, listen, there was claims from the beginning. There were some photos that leaked out of David in Lake Elsinore with this paper bag and this transaction going on. And there was the teacher at her school that talked about people were extorting David. And I do believe that was happening. And then there's further proof, I think, that was happening. And I think David was under.
So possibly he was just paying like these kids to like keep quiet, because everyone kind of like, you know, her classmates and like her close friends started knowing that she was dealing with this guy.
Understanding that
it's probably kind of like the same thing, chat, where like, you know, these like, you know, freaky ass teachers go and they fuck a kid, and we always say like, you know, obviously it's not necessarily right, but when it's a hot teacher and it's like a I don't know, a junior fucking her, like, damn. That's kind of like what niggas always wanted to do back in whatever. And people always say like, damn, why did they fuck it up? Like, why did they go snitch on a teacher? And most times it's not even them. Most times is, you know, they're getting some grown ass pussy and they probably tell their friends like, yo, you don't fucking miss so-and-so. And those people that probably say something to their parent, they probably say something at lunch, and that's where the rumblings start. So I could imagine that, yeah, he's with like Celeste, and I don't think Celeste is probably necessarily was like just telling everybody, but shit, her friends probably find out, and yeah, they start running their mouth, and they probably realize, oh, he got some money, we could get something out of him to keep quiet. And he's probably like kind of paid off her friends, knowing he's kind of in a really trash position, but he's probably thinking, I could keep doing this till she's 18. And then when she starts like, you know, using that leverage, he's like, oh, this ain't gonna work. Maybe that's why he killed her, right? I'm kind of like trying to come up with a reason, but this guy's batshit crazy. Like, we're probably not going to come up with a reason at all.
This was kind of a grip on him. And then when you lose respect to the person that it's centered around, it can become a real problem. And then, you know, not too long ago, I kind of put out there that there was this report.
I see comments in the chat. Did we, I hope you didn't think my analogy was weird, right? I said, when we see stories of I don't know, a 16, 17-year-old boy fucking a grown, attractive teacher, even though it's not right, because it's a guy, we kind of look at it and we're like, yo, why did he snitch? Like, y'all seen the stories, y'all seen them posted, and when you see an attractive like female teacher, like, why did he snitch? And the point what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times it's not the guy who snitched. It's them just telling their friends, and probably like, yo, you're not going to keep quiet at 16 or 17. And they are the ones who kind of like make that a thing to get the teacher busted. And I would imagine, let's reverse it with like someone like David. I think his friends was extorting David. They're like they know, and they're like, yo, this nigga got some money. Yo, if he gives us his money, we'll keep our fucking mouth quiet. You get what I'm saying? I hope you guys understand that, right?
I tried to get the investigative reports from West Hollywood Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff's Office, which weren't directly tied into this case, but had jurisdiction.
Somebody said they don't think like that. All right, well, that's just you, bro. Nigga, I was 17 in my college. I was 17 in high school, and there was this one Spanish teacher named Miss Martinez. Nigga, I would have bent her over the table. Nigga, fuck what you heard. Nigga, like I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Nigga, I would have nigga, I don't. Nigga, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's a slightly double standards. Not saying it's right, but nigga, I still want that chick. I've been trying to find her ever since. Miss Martinez, man. Hackensack High School. Somebody find her.
Over the other rental house that David was at, where they have that famous.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all. Like the person who said in my chat, they were like, "Nah, we don't think like that." Be like, "Yo, niggas used to, our whole, like we at the lunch table at, like remember we're like seniors. Yo, first of all, we used to just show up to that class just to flirt with her. Like fuck that class. It was like a Spanish class, nigga. We was in there playing Mafia. We were doing all type of shit, nigga. We're, like learning Spanish." We were just trying to learn Spanish to see if we could try to fuck her. Y'all all know that one badass teacher where it's like, her class is a fucking joke. Like, you know what I mean? You talk to her like a homie, but in reality, you're like, man, I wonder if she let me crack. Yeah. Now, obviously, it's improper, on her side, because you're the kid, right? Like, you're 17, right? Like, you're 17, she's grown. But shit, if she had fucked up and give you the choice, nigga, you cracking, bruh.
Delete everything live stream. Well, when I requested those files, they said that they couldn't release them because there was an investigation.
Ms. Vargas? Yo, anybody ever looked up they badass high school teacher later on? Like just kind of like look her up to see what she's doing. And now, granted, worst time to talk about this because this nigga is not a teacher. He's just a fucking creep. But I was only talking about the extortion element. I think the friends are extorting him. Like, so when you seen that picture with him, like, with giving out an envelope or whatever, I think this is her friends fucking be like, yo, listen, man. Yo, I need some money for some fucking candy and some McDonald's. Yo, give me some bread, bro. Or else I'm snitching on you. And I think he was going.
It was understanding that this was kind of a grip on him. And then when you lose respect to the person that it's centered around, it can become a real problem. And then, not too long ago, I kind of put out there that there was this report. I tried to get the investigative reports from West Hollywood Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff's Office, which weren't directly tied into this case, but had jurisdiction over the other rental house that David was at, where they have that famous delete everything live stream. Well, when I requested those files, they said that they couldn't release them because there was an investigation in progress and referred me to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and the LAPD. So that pretty much said that there was an investigation ongoing that involved Riverside County, who was the agency that had the missing persons report. So I do think that they were looking into that relationship. How aggressively, I don't know. But these are all things that David was aware of, and he was questioning in that.
Yeah, can you elaborate on how they'll be able to prove that was the motive? How they'll be able to prove that was the intent, right? I mean, just to give everybody an idea, Hochman had said there's physical evidence and there's forensic and digital evidence that we intend to present in court to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. How are they going to be able to prove that he lured her to the house to kill her and lured her for the purposes of killing her because he knew she was going to expose him or that she was a threat? How do you think they're going to prove that exactly?
Probably through a mountain of somewhat circumstantial evidence, I guess. And that listen, that is a weakness in this case, I think. When you're talking about physical evidence, at the press conference, he didn't even mention physical evidence. I don't believe he talked about how much digital evidence there was. And I think that this younger generation...
I do think there's going to be limited physical evidence. Like, the dude was cutting off fingers. Like, he got it. Well, I mean, he did leave her in the trunk, so he might not be that smart. But, like, I mean... he got to at least make sure there's no fingerprint and DNA, right? Like, he got to, like, probably put something there to make sure there's no DNA.
Generation, a lot of them truly...
I mean, the nigga has a body bag, like, bruh. Like, you got to, like, at least do a quick Google search, like, how to destroy all traces of DNA, right?
You don't understand things can be recovered. You delete things, they're not truly deleted, right? And there's artifacts that are left everywhere. And we've seen that in the Nancy Guthrie case with the video evidence that surfaced, even though she didn't have a subscription. So there are communications, I'm certain, that are going to be a real problem for him. However, is there I just killed Celeste and this is, for this reason? Probably not, but it's going to be a totality of all those things. And also Celeste's own words, probably, because I think Celeste was aware that there was people trying to financially gain off of that situation to keep things quiet. And I think when you wrap those in with what he was worried about and investigations going on and the totality of everything, I think it's just an assumption that, everybody will probably come to.
Well, look, my thought was there something in a text message or a social media message allegedly from David that would confirm this plan or confirm the intentions? Again, he's innocent until proven guilty. But this goes back to another point that I raised with Hochman on my show the other night, was people look at this and say it's very hard to believe that this young guy, Singer, did all of this on his own. Killed her, dismembered her, put her in the Tesla, and had this plan. So it goes back to this idea, did he act alone? And Hochman basically said, look, the investigation's ongoing. If people have more information, we'll come forward. I still have the interpretation they probably have some cooperating witnesses and are waiting to see if they will remain cooperating witnesses. And I know he mentioned that when it came to a potential grand jury, there's cooperating and non-cooperating witnesses, which I thought was an interesting point to it. But I guess it goes back to this question, motive, right? If David is accused of killing Celeste because she was going to expose him, it does make me wonder who else had this knowledge and who else may have been involved. Again, assuming the allegations are true.
Yeah. And I think your interview with the DA, said a lot, where he would not commit that there was not going to be other people charged in this. And I think he was also, letting it be known to them that if that cooperation tapers off, or if they're in any way not being fully truthful, they can be charged. I think that this case is built on 2 or 3 people's. So on April, their prosecutors are saying April 23rd, he lured her to his house and she's never seen again. He then announces within hours, announces that the Wither tour is on, and night of April 24th, he's most likely flying to New York, because on 25th, he's at a 3-day pop-up event in New York City. So this is within hours of her being lured over there. So I think that's really important. And then all of a sudden you got this, they seem pretty certain about this May 5th date for dismemberment. And I got to believe that's from some sort of direct witness testimony. But he's back in LA because on the night, about 11 p.m. on May 5th, he does a now deleted social media post, but we've recovered it from downtown LA.
What about this Santa Barbara trip? Because the Santa Barbara trip is something that came up earlier on in the investigation that authorities...
Okay.
When Beth Silverman requested to be unsealed, she said, I'm unsealing it. So why they didn't have it immediately, I do not know. Here, if you got to subpoena witnesses for tomorrow, I don't know how that's going to happen for the prelim tomorrow. But to get back, to the report itself and the cause, in Blair Burke, his attorney's written statement, she brought that up about it will show that he's not the cause of death. And I was there in person. She said it exactly.
Okay. All right. So we now know a lot more with how the cause of death was. We're probably going to have to hear a little bit more. And it seems like there's some witness. There got to be some witness that's going to fill in the gaps and tell us, okay, now we know how she died. But at what point did he start cutting off her limbs? What did he do with the 2 fingers? Is he carrying the shit around? Like, is he like fucking feeding on the body? Like, this is really some Dexter type shit. Have they checked his search history? How does he know all this type of stuff? There's a lot of questions still to be answered. And, just rest in peace to Celeste. But clearly, with all the information we're getting about David, if he is guilty of these things, I think they're kind of painting a picture that maybe the California or Los Angeles district attorney needs to elect for or actually opt to look into potential death penalty, sentence, right? They would have to file that they're seeking that and let the defense know early on. But if you're asking me, I'm a good I'm a proponent of the death penalty for a lot of these things, but this is one of those cases that is like, this is so disgusting. It's like, yeah, you got to get him out of here, right? If he did do these things. Okay, let's keep it going. What else is popping? What else is popping on here? Drake Iceman. Should we talk about Drake Iceman at this point? We can. All right, I suppose. All right, so after the whole revelation of Drake Iceman, if you guys haven't seen, it's the video of this young man. He found the booklet of Iceman release date buried in the ice pretty much like in about 24 hours. He opened it on stream. Then he was told to pull up to Drake's house and stand outside, and he basically revealed in front of the world what the release date is. Check this out.
Iceman, May 15th. May 15th.
Okay, May 15th, as you guys all know now. He also got $50,000.
Yo, what? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Yo, let me buy that whip off you. Let me buy that whip off you right now. How much for that whip? How much? Yo, how much for rent 1 month over here? 1 month. Yo, Drake, come outside, bro.
Does Drake just do the Squidward meme? Drake is, except he could definitely come outside, right?
Come outside. Isn't it?
Nah. Too much of a security risk. I would imagine these vehicles are bulletproof right here. Shit, with all the shit that's happening at Drake's house, hell nah, he's not coming outside. Shit, I would imagine also like the windows are probably bulletproof. I would imagine, right?
Look at the lights.
Okay. Anyway, Drake hailed him up. Congrats to that young streamer. And he did kind of, he went over, is it this? Drake did eventually post May 15th. That is Iceman. Okay, so officially, it is going down. By the way, there's another person who won something, which this is kind of, I guess it's related to Drake, but not really. There's another creator named MD and Motivator. He gave away a car at the same event.
At Drake's Iceman Massive Block of Ice. I'm a big fan of Drake, and what I want to do, the first person who gets this key gets a brand new car. Drake means so much to me, to this city. He's all about giving back and spreading love, and that's what I love too. So this key is going right in the middle of the block of ice, and the first person to get this key gets a brand new car.
Okay. So that happened. Someone actually did win it. And they presented the guy with a car. Check this out.
The guy that won the keys? What's your name?
I'm Antonio.
Antonio?
Nice to
I'm
meet
Zachary.
you,
Very
brother.
nice to meet you. Can I see the key? Did you risk your life for this thing, bro?
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
What's your dream?
My dream?
Yes, sir.
Maybe be a serial entrepreneur, maybe a philanthropist.
You got a driver's license?
I do.
You have it on you right now?
Yes, sir.
You have a car?
No, I was actually working to buy my first one this summer. I
You're
just got my G2.
Let me see this.
Yes, sir.
Where are you working at right now?
I work at a restaurant.
Yeah?
Been working there since I was 15.
What restaurant?
It's called Cucinetta.
If you could say something to Drake and he was listening to you right now, what would you tell him?
Bro, congratulations. Look what you accomplished. That's crazy, yo.
Can we come give you a surprise?
You're joking. Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, welcome me.
Get the Can I swear, yo? Yo, thank you so much, bro. You're welcome, bro. God bless you, bro. Who are you,
It's a
bro?
really dope moment. By the way, Drake did comment in the comment section. It says, this album about to play infinitesimally. Know that. And he says, MD, the motherfucking GOAT.
That's your brand new car.
Holy shit, bro. Yo, boys, look at this shit, bro.
That's your brand new
Look,
car,
I couldn't
man.
have done this without my mask. I couldn't have done this without my mask.
Yo, they got God's plan queued up.
Wait, is this actually my car?
This is your car.
Turn it to 2 to the whole thing, yo.
Who's the
All
first
right, don't
person you
jump on
wanna
it
call?
too crazy now.
My mother.
You want to call her right now?
I don't have data. Bro, who are you, bro?
I'm Zach. I'm a big fan of Drake too, bro.
I'm a bigger fan of you right now, bro.
Bless you, bro.
Mommy. Yeah. You're on speaker and we're probably talking in front of a lot of people right now, so don't say anything silly, but I love you and I just want a car. I'm in it right now. What? Ma, Zachary just blessed us like infinitesimally. This is crazy, mother. I don't believe it either, mommy. Yeah. Mommy, I swear to God, I was just standing on some ice and I was at the right place at the right time.
So my name's... Pardon? He's been working hard. He's been saving for a car. It's God's plan.
Yeah, I know, mommy. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, bro.
God bless you.
The guy, the one that...
All right, make sure you do that paperwork and give the nigga the title too, okay? But yeah, I believe this guy. Apparently, this guy, MD Motivator, sounds like a cool guy, right?
You're the guy, the one that...
First time I heard about him, but he's been doing his thing. He's been giving.
I have $200,000 for you.
Oh, he been on some Mr. B shit. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool though. That's kind of cool.
Joe.
What's up, brother, man?
Want to break my pinata for $5?
How about I do it for free? How you doing, brother?
Okay. Anyway. All right. So we all know that's happening. So we know the release date. And apparently after that happened, the cops and the city have now realized, okay, people are flocking towards this ice statue and we don't need it really just standing there anymore. So they have been trying to get rid of it. So they brought out the fire truck, and the fire truck is trying to literally, pour hot water on the ice structure to melt it. And like in, all these things, there's so much pun intended. Because of that, literally the streets surrounding this area became flooded. So literally Drake flooded the streets. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see the streets. Yeah. Streets are being flooded. Yep. Mm-hmm. Really insane scene. Insane. Man, one thing I do like about Toronto is like they really embrace the fact that they feel like there's a special pride and identity factor that Drake is the biggest rapper and he's from there. And especially like, maybe like in his earlier years, like he was from Toronto, he would always mention it, but he never like, I think now he's like, he's unapologetically just a Torontonian, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. This is the mayor, and she apparently is a OVO fan as well. So the whole city loves Drake.
Our chief made the decision last night, and I support his decisions. His responsibility is people's safety, and you will have to ask him, what are the safety concerns that he has. Drake is a big supporter of our city, and there's so much excitement across our city towards this new Drake album, the Iceman. Yeah, Iceman, right. I'm excited too, right? It's going to be a great summer.
So you heard there Mary Olivia Chow, certainly a big fan of Drake. Didn't necessarily answer the question, though, in terms of who's going to foot the bill for the resources that's being put into this to actually break this sculpture down, which, in fact, has been here on this private parking lot here since Monday. And Drake putting out a post on Instagram, basically, again, finding a way to tease his album date. A Twitch streamer was able to find the date inside this ice sculpture here. Of course, we know that date of May 15th. So now that all that fanfare is wrapped up, they're now trying to find a way to, of course, break this down. And of course, really, this is really went from 0 to 100 real quick, and we'll try to see how long it's going to take for crews to actually break down all this ice. And then, of course, we're starting to see all the pooling and ponding that's surrounding.
The fire chief.
Okay. So, this is one of the most interactive release date announcements we've ever seen. And definitely big shout out to Drake for that. Hip hop media is currently, I don't know why this conversation kind of funnels into hip hop media. I think it's a great time for the fans. We got to like really sit back and, you know, I want to say this in general. It amazes me how many people think, or how many people are surprised that Drake has this much fans. And I think it's moments like this, it makes it laughable that people believe that Drake is like, you know, using these bots or whatever. The guy who dominates on every statistical category, the guy who has the most amount of numbers, the only rapper who's listed in the top 10 most streamed artists this year. And he's number 3 or number 2, whatever he is. And people are surprised that the people who love him and support him are actually real. This is the same guy who a few years ago basically shatters the record for having the highest gross in hip hop tour, $305 or $350 million made on a tour. People are shocked when they see how many people go hard for him, because again, we know about these diehard fan bases. Like we know about the Team Breezes, the Navies. We know about the Beehive, right? We know about the Barbs, but people forget that, you know, Drake's music, as much as they try to, you know, and I see some of the haters saying, oh, this is pop music. No, this guy has the same rabid fan base. They just don't activate like other fan bases do, you know? And I've said before, I think the battles have always got his fan base to activate, but this is the first time I've seen his fan base activate in a good way, where everyone is just happy that he's about to drop music. And for the people who, you know, because I've seen some people like just arguing and complaining, like now they're coming up with this thing to say, oh, people are only talking about Iceman right now. Because here's the thing, there's like a few guys, like they were still on the Kendrick, you know, bandwagon for a while. And there's nothing wrong with being on the Kendrick bandwagon. I just want to be very clear. But there are certain people, you guys know who they are. There's a few like failing YouTubers. There's a few like, you know, media guys that they are going with the narrative that, oh, this fanfare behind Drake's album has got to be bots. And the reality, or why they think that, is that they can't understand that there's so many people that don't think like them, right? That don't, you know, haven't looked at whether the battle did this or did that and say, oh, I don't want to hear this guy's music. And I'm actually just really surprised that these people really are, you know, kind of delusional to the fact that this is what happens when the biggest artist in the world, or the biggest hip hop artist we've ever seen, actually drops anticipated music, right? The likes of things like this could only be done by like him, Kanye, honestly, right? And I'm watching everybody learn in real time, because they're like, how? Why? No. Despite what happened in the battle, a lot of people want to hear this guy's music. So we're going to see. I think it's, you know, one of his most anticipated album. He is doing a rollout. I like the fact that he's doing a rollout. I would imagine that there's much more to come, right? There's much more to come. Now, I've heard rumors, you know, people are saying, are there going to be a single? Will there be more episodes? Will there be? I have no idea, but I do like the fact that what this showed me is that Drake is meticulously trying to engage an audience and really rally his own audience, not everybody else. So if you were a hater, I don't think he gives too much of a fuck. But he's rallying his audience in anticipation for this album, and I think it's working. Apparently in this booklet, they had the Pinocchio figure with, like, you know, in crosshairs, and people are wondering, what does that mean? Is that Kendrick? If you ask me personally, I don't think that Pinocchio is Kendrick. I think Pinocchio is everybody who went with narratives and lies against him. And, you know, it's comforting for people who want to make this. And this is one thing, you know, I definitely believe that Drake, he's freed himself from all of the haters trying to pigeonhole him into what they claim he should do. Because if you listen to these guys, you can't win, right? You listen to them, you'll never win. Like, you know, you're going to have one idiot come out and say, nah, he got to show us he could really rap. He need to just have finally bars. If he does that, they're going to be like, yo, this shit was still ass. Like, yo, you're wiping to the Drake that was fun and made song for the girls and the gangster. Like, you can't win with them, right? But, you know, a strategy in trying to defeat or try to make sure this guy's unsuccessful is like pigeonhole him, right? And the pigeonhole aspect is saying what he has to do, who he has to, you know, like, for example, saying for this Pinocchio thing. Yeah, he better shoot back at Kendrick. Who knows if he's gonna say nothing at Kendrick? Who gives a fuck? You get what I'm saying? And that's where I think that, you know, I think he's in the best mindset going into this album, because all the naysayers, like, for example, when they see this is not Kendrick. It's Pinocchio. It's if you want it to be Kendrick, it's Kendrick. And if you don't, it's not. There's a lot of niggas who lied on him, right? It's a lot of niggas who fucking lied on him. There's a lot of niggas who basically use lies and narratives and thought they were kicking this dude at his lowest moment. If you ask me, that's what Pinocchio is, right? Of course, you're going to have some of the haters who be like, oh, look, you can't get, because that's another thing too, right? Like, say he's going to pop his shit, and let's say he is going to, like, you know, flame up Dot a bit, right? You know, people going to be like, nah, yo, if he doesn't, like, he's in this unwinnable position, and I think his fans are also smart about it, right? This way you can't bite into, like, these little naysayers. Some of these guys, they'll act like, you know, all of them turn to dick riders again. They're like, oh, no, we never said we didn't like Drake. Well, we actually love Drake. Well, I can't wait to hear the album. Shut up. You didn't want to hear nothing from him. They have unwinnable situations for him to be in, right? So it's like, yo, he needs to drop an album. If he disses Kendrick, they're going to be like, yo, I told you, Kendrick ruined him. He can't get him off his mind. If he doesn't diss Kendrick, look, he's scared straight. He want no more problems. Yo, this guy he does turn vegan. He's J. Cole. So you can't really win. This is why you got to free yourself. And, you know, shit, I noticed that. I noticed that personally. And that's why I think that all of the confirmations, and that's why I think all of whatever leaks, I think let Drake do it. Right? So if a nigga say that J. Cole's on the album, is he? I don't know. Perfect. That would be cool. Him and Hove makeup on the album, that's kind of cool too. Right? You know what I mean? Like, you can't listen to these people. You know what I mean? Like, you can't listen. Like, I heard one person, they're like, yo, he got to go get Nicki Minaj and, like, Lil Wayne, and he got to go do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I looked up, this was like the same person that was basically saying, like, that Nicki Minaj is batshit crazy, right? Like, the same person. So, and what I'm saying that to say is that these people, they don't have actual, real, they have no good wishes for you. They just want you to do something to make them criticize more, right? Oh, it's 40 on the album. Like, we're seeing seeds of that being sowed, right? It's 40 on the album, which, by the way, I do think is a good question. But still, what else are they gonna ask? You know, is Yachty working with him? You can't really get. You're never gonna get to a place where the haters and the people who want to find something to, nitpick, will be satisfied. But I do think that the important thing, and I know this personally, I think this album is going to be good because I think Drake is back to a blank canvas of not feeling like he needs to respond to what other people are critiquing him for, whether it's after the battle, after the lawsuits. That's another thing too, right? Be like, yeah, okay, let's talk. I think he's just back to good music, which I think is a good thing. Sorry. All right. Alrighty then. Did you see this guy? This grown-ass man. This guy is spiraling too. I'll give him a couple minutes, to kind of spiral into his. So, this guy, after making a video, and he made a video and he said, I know the date of Iceman. Right? That's what he said. He said, I know the date of Iceman. And Iceman is dropping on whatever date. Let me see if I could. He was like, Iceman's dropping within 36 hours. Where is it at? Jesus Christ. Do I tweet this much? I gotta stop tweeting. I never like tweeting a lot. Okay. Okay. So this is what he had said.
Drake, Iceman, it is happening. Based on my exclusive source, Iceman will be dropping in the next 36 hours. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out. Iceman in 36 hours. You're welcome. Drake, Iceman, it...
Okay, so that happened. And afterwards, if you don't know, that's Anthony Fantano. He's been one of those guys that I say he's suffering from, Drake derangement syndrome. Ever since Drake basically dissed him, and he probably made a good amount of money just hating on Drake during the battle, guys like this, desperately have that main character syndrome. He's trying to find a way to try to work his way into the narrative since Iceman's coming out. So he said that Iceman was going to be dropped in 36 hours. Obviously, he was wrong. Then he came back with his reason of why he was wrong. Check this out.
Iceman is coming, but be careful interacting with this video, because if you like it and comment on it too much, Drake is going to get shy and not release the album. Because when I announced that...
So he's engagement farming.
That Iceman was going to drop yesterday and it got 1 million views. Hi, Leah. It made Drake feel shy, and then him and his team, they pushed the album back. So look, I'm excited for Iceman. You're excited for Iceman. I'm going to tell you again when the album drops once I know. But listen, when I tell you again, try not to get too excited the next time, okay? Just be excited, but keep the energy lower. We don't want Drake to be scared. We want him to be excited. Iceman is coming, but be careful.
Okay. Now, he said that, and everyone's on his head top saying, yo, bro, why do you have to lie, though? Obviously, there's a lot of people that were looking out for the album and its release date. People are saying to him, why do you have to lie? And basically what he did was he came out again and he started spiraling, chat. He started spiraling. Here we go. He came up with another reason. Check this one out.
Oh my God, you lied about Iceman coming out. I'm sorry, why is that a problem? The entire hype cycle behind this...
Lying about... If your job is a musical insider or a reviewer or someone within that's a credible voice within hip-hop, that you have access and reach that the regular folk does not have, and people trust you, and you then get caught lying, and your response is, so what? I guess if your credibility means nothing, okay, cool.
Oh my God, you lied about Iceman coming out. I'm sorry, why is that a problem?
Oh, why is the problem to lie? Okay.
You lied about Iceman coming out. I'm sorry, why is that a problem? The entire hype cycle behind this album for the past 4 months has been based on the lie that it's almost out, that it's almost here. Iceman coming soon. Here comes Iceman. Look out for the Iceman. The Iceman's almost here. Here's the Iceman. From every rap page, every proxy account, every Drake glazing commentator on the internet. But when I do it, it's a problem. It's an issue. It's a bad thing. Shut the fuck up. Look, either way, I'm happy because I got what I wanted. We have a release date for the album, and it's going to come out on May 15th, I hope. Because there's literally no reason for it to have taken this long. Like, come on, what do you think? Drake is just working on the album so hard and that's why it's been delayed?
I wonder why they never say this about Kendrick. So Drake dropped a studio LP last year. That album was a joint album with Party Next Door. 2 years before that, in 2024, he dropped For All the Dogs. Right before that, he dropped Her Loss. In literally ever since, I forgot Kendrick's albums. Let me see. Is it Damn? After Damn, he dropped. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go to his albums. Discography. How come no one ever says this about Kendrick? After 2017, he takes 5 years to drop an album. Then he takes 2 more years. How come no one says the same type of facetious, like tongue-in-cheek way of, oh, why does it take Drake so long? Why don't you say that about Kendrick?
So hard, and that's why it's been delayed. Look, I will admit, because just working on the albums for to have taken this long. Like, come on, what do you think? Drake is just working on the album so hard, and that's why it's been delayed? Look, I will admit, there is a non-zero chance that because of the beef and everything that's led up until this point, it might light a fire under Drake's butt. But honestly, Drake is a guy who chases the money, the fame, the popularity, the success. He does what works. And for him, phoning it in has been proven to work. Either way, it's almost here. It'll be what it's going to be. And I'm just glad that the release date is around the corner and that we finally have it.
Okay. Now, this fool continued to embarrass himself by essentially trying to go as far to prove why. Hold on, I think it's. Let me see. Yeah, he was trying to go as far to prove why.
Hi, everyone. Anthony.
He's not a liar. So he starts bringing up text messages on the screen. This guy's like pathetic. Listen to this.
The album going, or if these people are just merely incentivized by the attention economy on the internet.
So he claims he was doing a social experiment with Line. Listen to this. Oh, he's talking about me. Oh, perfect.
Kai Cenat, a dude who is absolutely incentivized this gambling to-dos Drake is tied up in. As an aside here, it's kind of a sign that Champagne Papi is spreading himself a little bit too thin. He has all of these orbiting problems and issues that are distracting from what people should be focusing on instead, and that's just simply the music. So you've got that, and also these different episodic visual short film pieces interspersed with bits of new music that Drake has been dropping that haven't really been getting rave reactions outside of his core fan base. Even guys like Kai Cenat, a dude who is absolutely incentivized as one of the most popular streamers out there with connections to big entertainment industry figures, even he would be incentivized to like come on stream and pretend that all the Iceman episodes and visuals are good, but even he can't muster up a positive reaction to how boring and uninteresting they are.
They're spamming hidden messages that's dragged out to make it look artistic. The biggest waste of my god! I can't fake it. I can't fake it. That was ass.
And then I would say the third prong of this Iceman rollout is maybe the most annoying one. Basically every Drake connected media sycophant or stan on social media week in and week out talking about how the album is dropping. It's so soon. It's almost here. Freak out. Get hype. I've heard it. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard from him. Oh my God. Which for the length of time this pattern has been repeating, it's actually kind of had the opposite effect in terms of making people more excited for Iceman. And whether it's Drake.
Ain't nobody posting for you, nigga. Yeah. I like how his little feedback is like, we're trying to get him excited. No.
For people on his team directly instructing this behavior to keep discourse about the album going, or if these people are just merely incentivized by the attention economy on the internet. Either way, it's not good. Which is why this past week, merely out of a desire to engage in a little social experiment, I decided to come online and just say that I knew Iceman was going to drop this past weekend and that it was going to come out in like 36 hours, and an exclusive source that I had told me this information. Drake, Iceman, it is happening. Based on my exclusive source, Iceman will be dropping in the next 36 hours. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out. Iceman in 36 hours. You're welcome. In fact, here is me texting my partner on Wednesday, just kind of proposing.
Oh, you know, this is like something similar happened to Tim Pool. I don't know if you guys watch political commentary, where he was like, I'm going to say something to go viral. And people are like, Why? You're just gonna like blow your well, I'm not blowing my reputation up if I tell you I'm gonna do it before I do it. You're like, why?
The idea, what if I said every day Iceman was about to drop until it actually came out? And I'll also show you my side of a convo that I had over text with Torre, where I told him, I said that shit yesterday to see how many rap pages would post it. I'm going to announce Iceman.
Oh, it's like the Vlad method, right? It's the Vlad method. Just say a bunch of bullshit. If it goes viral, you won. How could these people like criticize other people's credibility then?
Is dropping every weekend until it drops. Now, before I get into the why of that, I will stop here to say, actually quite a few rap pages reposted what I said.
And by the way, Fantano's lying. Chat, I know they fed him the information. Facts. I know it. I know it because he talks to a few people that I actually know who told him. And they only told him, they told him the wrong date because I think he's a fucking dweeb. Straight up. Now, he's trying to not double down on that. That's why he's now coming up with this, no.
Many of which I'm sure were well aware that I most likely didn't personally have that connection to Drake's team.
Yeah, you didn't. You spoke to someone that's in the industry, and they told you that they were confident, and they gave you specifically the wrong information that you could look like an idiot.
In order to say with complete confidence that I knew the album was actually dropping, but posted it anyway because they knew it was going to generate views and traffic and discussion, which then brings us into the why of why I did this, because maybe some of you watching this might think, Anthony, isn't that a little sort of like cynical to be consciously dropping misinformation about an album release date on the internet? And while, yes, it is, simultaneously, this is what all of Drake's fans have been doing week in and week out, and his team has been actively incentivizing this behavior. Like, what I merely did was engaged in a part of the Drake album rollout without being asked to do so. And I feel like the evidence of this becomes clear when you look at the reactions from those who post most positively about Drake on the internet in the media sphere, be it academics, be it Rory and Mal.
When you're hearing this, Iceman is out, according to Anthony Fantano. Some
Drake and me would be the fastest to say, oh yeah, Fantano is the #1 Drake hater. Drake hates Fantano. There's like,
nah, you're not #1, bro. You got a little bit more to go. Who's the #1 Drake hater? That's a good one. The #1 Drake hater. Who y'all think? Like Fantano, you gotta step your hate up, bro. Who is it? Yeah, obviously Kendrick, but like other than Kendrick. They said Joe Budden. I kind of do feel like it's Joe. And really, I'm going to always keep going with the thing. I think it's because Drake fucked Joe's girl back in the day. Like, honestly. I've been said it though. I would have hated Drake too. I don't even know how Joe could like keep it like even a little neutral. You fuck my chick, nigga, I hate you for life. Nah, I don't think Charlamagne cared that much. Boosie? Does Boosie hate Drake? I don't think he hates Drake. Somebody said DMX, God rest his soul. Nah, Charlamagne is not that big of a Drake hater. I don't think so. I think Charlamagne likes bullying Drake if he thinks he could bully Drake. Because when Drake came in the game, he kept like just making fun of him. And I think he still wants to make fun of Drake, but like I don't think nobody makes fun of Drake. Like all his peers need him or rely on him. He's the biggest artist. At some point you're not the butt of the joke anymore. I don't even think it's Ebro. Bro, Ebro isn't that relevant to do all that. I'm gonna be honest.
Like bad blood there. And if that's the case, like, why would Drake or anybody on his team tell me anything? Why would I, knowing that Drake hates me, take anything in terms of a release date from his team without sort of like, taking it with a grain of salt?
Yeah, it's Fantano. Of course, nobody on his team told you. It's not the only way to know about an album dropping, right? Like, I don't want to name, because I have relationships with these labels and stuff. Bro, I talk to every label. As soon as your album gets turned in, I know. I'm pretty sure you know somebody at a label that might want to leak something to you. You don't have to know the artist.
So again, yes, I just made it up because that's literally what everyone who's been promoting Drake and this album for the past 4 months has been doing. And continuing to push the hype for Iceman in this way, unfortunately, I feel like has gotten away from Drake and his team a little bit, given that someone like me can just announce randomly that the album is dropping in 36 hours and everybody goes into a fucking tailspin over it. So now Drake and his team have sort of like recontrolled the narrative around the record's release, very smartly, I might add, by putting up this giant block ice structure in downtown Toronto and essentially making it clear to the internet that information about the album's release, what they want to know about Iceman coming out, will be revealed once this ice structure melts. And continuing to give Drake his flowers, this is actually a really cool idea in concept. Very Drake actively incentivizing this behavior by buying many of these streamers subs live on stream. Again, this would be a cool idea in concept if it wasn't literally devolving into Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce madness. Basically, every single type of Canadian where's my hug type dude showed up at this fucking ice structure to find out when this Drake album was coming out. All this has really done is made me feel more.
Oh, man.
Have the proof of the direction.
Yo, these boys spiraling, man. These boys spiraling, man. Y'all boys spiraling, man. I seen some other shit, man. These niggas spiraling, bro. All right, let me run through all the apology videos. This is the week all the hip-hop media. Yo, I never said I didn't like Drake. I never said that. Who said that? I never said that. You called him a cancer. No, what? Let's go through the apology. Give me an apologizer. There's like 10 of them this week. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Could you name me? Tell me an apologizer. We're gonna react to their apology videos. Okay. Who apologized this week? Rob Markman. All right. I'm going to grade all y'all apology videos. The best one gets sent to Drake. Okay? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to grade all y'all apology videos. The best one, I'm going to forward to the boy. Let's see if let's see if the sixth God has some type of empathy and sympathy for y'all. I'm going to see if he will let y'all back in. All right? Let's see apology number 1. Here we go.
I know a lot of people who don't watch this channel.
Now, the first thing I gotta, I'm grading all these, apology videos. So, I'm not trying to diss y'all, but I gotta be critical because the best one we're gonna send to the boy. First of all, the background is fucked up. Am I colorblind? Is this red lighting? This ain't a Diddy video, nigga. Get some fucking candles, scented ones at that. You know how the boy likes it. Pause. Come on. If you're gonna, come on, man. Get like a little OVO. At least get Take Care in the background right here. Come on, get Take Care in the background. Come on now. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. Here we go. And also, I got a -2 points. He's reading from a script. You can't apologize to Drake and read from a script. Straight from the heart. Come on now.
I know a lot of people who don't watch this channel day in and day out.
Is he reading from a script or what?
Like to label me a hater of Drake or if I do him some type of disservice. And man, I just call it like I see it. And if I don't like something or if I think something was like a bad move or whatever, I call that. And if I think something, and there's plenty of times when I say, yo, hey, I think that's a good move. Hey, I like that. Hey, yo, that song is.
Yeah, you know what the funny part is, chat? This is like the double Dutch hater apology, like Chat GPT thing, where it's like, I never hated you. I just shitted on you for 2 years because you were doing all the wrong things. And the first right thing you're doing is dropping this album, given the fact that nobody watches me anymore because I was hating on you. So now you're doing the right thing, and I was impartial this whole time. I'm now giving you props, or I'm now ready to view your album favorably or view it without a bias. Really, nigga? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Cause I fuck with it. I just call it like I see it.
Yo, these people that say they call it like they see it, they never seen nothing Drake did right for 2 years. Like, your shit's crazy.
And I'm gonna continue to do so. So on Monday, he dropped coordinates and a Google Map link on his IG story and captioned it "release date" inside. He also dropped something on his main feed, a picture of the ice structure. And if you follow the map, if you follow the coordinates, the address, it leads to a parking lot at 81 Bond Street in Toronto. The assumption is that when the ice melts, it will reveal a release date. There's something in that ice structure, and when it melts, it reveals a release date. OVO fans have been showing up. They've been taking pictures.
All right. We graded. That's a B. That's a B. That's a B. That's a B. You're going to need a little bit better apology to really, you know what I mean? To get in the great good graces of the sixth guy, but it's okay. Who else apologized? Let's get to them all. Ebro, he apologized too? Oh, man. Oh, I heard Rosendweep apologized, I heard. Holy. Let's hear this go. Here we go.
What was the blogger lady saying about me being a liar yesterday?
I don't know. Laura forwarded it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Did you watch it? What did they say? How was I a liar?
People are just reposting clips and.
Oh, let me see. No, let me see. Wait. No. I want to hear the full apology, man. I want to hear the apology, man. Enough of the fuckery, bro. Let's hear the apology, man. We sick of y'all niggas, man. We need to hear the full apology, man. Oh, here we go.
This is so typical. I was feeling a little bit of a way the other day about how hard I went at Drake at the thing. You guys think I went too hard?
How hard you go at Drake?
Ebro, you were here. No, you have no friends and you can't dress. He wasn't here.
Wait, what did you do?
He wasn't there for that?
Why'd you do that?
Because he was laughing at my living room. He was laughing at the fact that my kitchen and my living room, my office were all the same thing.
They were.
For one day.
Okay, but he got you.
And so
he caught you with your living room, your office, and bad Wi-Fi all at the same time.
When you were moving apartments.
When you were switching places to live.
So did I go too far? To say you have no friends? At least I have something. You don't have friends. And I said,
why would you say that?
And why can't you dress? Why'd I do that? I went too far.
Why did you do that?
Because I was offended. But really, it was just because it was him being too close to academics. So I ended up going extra hard at Drake because the messenger of the thing.
All right, this is like the Dick Rider apology. Yo, I really ain't had no beef with you, Drake, just because you cool act. You caught the smoke too. You was in the car. All right, this is like the Dick Rider apology. Okay, I see it, though. I see it. You got a D right now, buddy. Okay, Rosendweeb? Rosendweeb. The D is for dweeb, nigga.
Was academics.
Right.
I mean, it's not nice, though. It's twice now since we, quote unquote, in his eyes, lost our jobs and are down bad, right? As far as he knows, I'm at the shelter. Man. And he was laughing at me to academics. I have the right to get mad about that. I still just think I went further than I needed to go. I don't hate Drake.
Because he's got you.
I don't hate. That's the new comeback. I don't hate him.
He's got your goat. Like the murder.
It was a good joke. It was a good. Well, listen.
Yo, Rosendweeb. I hate to break it to you. No matter what you say, he still thinks you're a goof. Okay?
It was a good joke too.
So he got you.
But I got him back. So, but then I felt bad.
I don't know. People like how.
Yo, nobody heard what you saying back, bro. Like, I don't know. These niggas, like, I don't care. Yo, you know the illest shit I heard about what they got going on? This little Ebro show, the new show is so whack. I mean, it's still more popping than the Graveyard show they got going on over at Hot 97 with that other nigga. But, which is a replacement for them. I'll say this, though. They telling me that, so, shout out to my blogger friends. They telling me that Ebro and them, they finally start paying that promo money. Because, like, have y'all wondered, like, why the fuck you're seeing Ebro on your timeline? Like no disrespect. He's trying to come off like this biggest hater thing. We haven't thought about what Ebro thinks in years. Like, respectfully, like, ever since the Uzi thing, I think we just turned that TV off. Literally. And if you've been seeing it a lot, from what I heard, they said Apple commissioned the budget for that little Rap Life show, and apparently they get to use some of the budget for what's going on over here. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if Apple knows that you're using the budget, the promo budget for Rap Life to promo your side gig with Rosendweeb. Interesting. Somebody should let them know about that one. But anyway, thanks to my blogger friends, I was like, man, why is this garbage even on here? And they're like, yo, we're getting paid to post it. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, that kind of makes sense. That kind of made sense. Not gonna cap. In case, I just want to remind y'all, in case y'all are saying, and this is real facts, I'm telling y'all, chat. They're which, by the way, I shouldn't even hate on them for that. It's not even hate, but like, I shouldn't even say it because they have to promote their shit, right? But they're supposedly using Apple's budget. In case you did forget, though, I just want to point it out. Every page I see posted, I hope you collected your check. I want to remind y'all, when everybody's saying react to them, when you go on their actual YouTube channel and it says our thoughts about the Iceman rollout, 8 hours, 1,300 views. I just want to let y'all know. So when everyone's acting like, oh, Ebro said something, that's why when I said he's the biggest Drake hater, I'm like, how? Nobody hears what he's saying. You get what I'm saying? It's like, look, it's not much. Is the Iceman hype real? 3,000 views. When you see Ebro get posted, I seen him hate on Ice Spice recently. Me and Ice Spice was having a good laugh at it. Saying that Ice Spice faked something for buzz. I'm like, nigga, y'all need to go fake a fucking fight in McDonald's for buzz. Y'all niggas is washed up, irrelevant. Look at this shit. I seen Ebro recently say, yo, Act, thanks for the free promo. I'm like, don't thank me. If I promoted your ass and in 7 hours you got 400 views, I did a bad job. You know when Drake promoted that nigga Pusha T, he at least got like 20,000 more sales. If I'm promoting y'all niggas for 400 views in 7 hours, I'm a bad promoter. I just gotta put these numbers back in, y'all orbit in case, because I see people keep like, Ebro said this. I'm like, why am I going back and forth with Ebro? Then I go on YouTube, I'm like, oh, their shit must be busting now. Man, I went up on this shit. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't even think the niggas that edit the video be watching this shit, man. This shit is garbage, bro. Nigga, Tyrese went on there, gang. Tyrese, I'm disappointed in you, nigga. This is why niggas, well, I can't give no smoke to Tyrese, but the reality is this, bro. How y'all be doing a show that get y'all 8,000 views, niggas? Just go do Vlad, bro. Cut it out. Go do, well, actually, is he beef with Vlad? Go do no Jumper or something, nigga. How do y'all do an interview with a nigga 8,000 views? This shit is ass. They talk about Usher and Chris Brown. 2,000 views, bro. The most views on here is 4K. Rosendweeb responds to Big Ack and Drake. 4,000. These niggas is done. Like, these niggas is, yo, put like this Big X the plug. Oh, that's why they get to do the cross promo shit. Ah, yeah. Oh, chat. This is why they get to use Apple's budget.
Listen,
look,
we got
look. They get to post the Apple Music shit on this channel too. So this is an Apple Music interview. You see Apple Music. They're posting it on their independent media channel, and they get 2 comments. Okay. Oh, so Apple probably think, oh, we're promoting our shit, But these niggas are using the budget to promote they shit. This is abysmal, man. Holy shit. Big X the Plug did an interview 15 hours ago and got 500 views? That's a bad look, bro.
You and young that you know, get.
Where's Big X the Plug? Oh. Yeah, he really here. 500 views is crazy. Damn. Did they post this shit on Apple Music too? I gotta see it. Oh, he just posted directly on his shit. Yeah, nah, this is bad, bro.
Summertime.
Anyway. All right. Rosendweeb, your apology gets a D. Who else has apologized? Come on. Bring on the apologies. Bring on the apologies, chat. Who else is apologizing? Let's get off the screen. We can't get no free promo. Who else is apologizing? Who else is apologizing, chat? We already, like, they're the same. Ebro, Rosendweeb, same thing. Who else is apologizing? Wayno apologize? Wait, has Wayno been hating on Drake? Yo. Let's see. When did Wayno apologize? Is it recently?
Yes. People we had ever got. And niggas painted him as the golden child and the special one and the best one to come out of everybody. Pause. But then as time went on, we started to see Drake do interviews and he was saying stuff about, you know, how this me and you'll never hear a reply.
Yo, did Wayno ever tell y'all, Wayno? Yo, Drake, I think did Drake DM him? Oh, did Drake DM Wayno? I can't remember if he DM'd Wayno. Or did he tell me? I can't remember if it was that, but it was back when we were doing Everyday Struggle. And it was something that happened, and Wayno said, he was talking about Drake, and he's like, yo, I don't know why Drake be rapping like that. Why Drake be rapping like he like that? Like, Drake not like that? And I remember Drake said to me, Drake was like, yo, this nerd you're sitting with? Like, yo, Drake called him a nerd. And did they ever talk after? I think they talked. Did they? Did he ever mention that story? Yo, all of these guys, Drake has like said crazy shit about. I ain't gonna lie to you. Drake called Wayno a nerd, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because it was a conversation that we were talking about Drake rapping, like, what he was rapping about. Like, he's just rapping like that certain type of shit. And Wayno was just like, yo, why he rapping like that? That nigga is not like that.
Right? They that Dr. Doom shirt that they made, J's and the Nas's to the B, and which I think is crazy, but if you from that generation and you grew up on his...
Where's the apology at?
No, I'm okay. Little sign.
His videos, you know, he does the, yo, I'm hungry, could you give me 5...
God bless you, bro. Yeah.
With a target around it. And that's where I'm just like, come on, my nigga. Like, don't be that guy.
Oh, the clip is on Twitter? All right, let me find it on Twitter. All right, Wayno, we're going to have to judge your apology, brother. Let's hear what Wayno says. Okay, where could I find it? Is it his clip there or some other clip? Fuck. Wayno, Drake. Chat, y'all missing me with the fucking...
Currently, we already got a J. Cole album, we got a Kanye album, and we about to get a Drake album on May 15th. Before we get started, though, you know what I need? Subs, likes, and hype. I bet. Now, Drake put up this big-ass ice sculpture in the middle of Toronto, well, in the city of Toronto. A lot of people don't like it. Dry is Free my space. Just know that Drake walked up and he gave credit. Like, the good thing about Future.
All right, I can't find his apology, bro. I can't find his apology. I can't find it.
Whatever, who cares? Some you wouldn't fucking.
I didn't know that Wayno was like a fucking like Drake hater. I feel like he probably definitely is like, he probably don't like Drake, but not like Drake hater, right? Is he a Drake hater? Has Joe said anything? I think Joe got to double down and triple down on his hate. But Joe is a businessman, so like I think Joe don't like Drake no matter what. Like, I keep telling y'all, you fuck my bitch, like, yeah, fuck out of here, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like me and Lil Baby, bro. It's like, bro, I can't even sugarcoat that I like the nigga. I can't even, like, I salute to Drake, I mean, to Joe, because Joe is like acting like he gonna be, man, Joe was probably running around his crib like, yes, when Not Like Us came out. Trust me. However, on a business level, he gotta, you gotta be a little bit impartial because, that's going to get the most amount of money. Here we go.
Gives me a different level of confidence, anticipation, and excitement because I'm a fan of what they do together. Agreed. I think recently there's been a lot of Drake has just gotten a lot of fans of whatever he's been doing outside of 40. But 40 coming back, boy wonder knows if that's happening. Yeah. Then I think he steps up to the plate and does what he's supposed to do.
All right. So this is not an apology, but this is Joe basically saying, because Joe was on some shit where he was just calling Drake shit trash mad quick. Like, trash. Okay. He's ready to like it again.
I would be disappointed if whatever we hear sounds like something we heard. Word. Because he's in a space, I'm assuming he's in a space, he done went through some shit he ain't never went through before.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
You mean lyrically or just sonically?
Just in life.
I mean professionally. No, I'm talking about sonically. If
you sound like
the
music. Yeah.
Or lyrics.
Both.
Yeah.
I hear. Excuse me. And
high expectations.
I think it's hard.
I hear that a lot, right, Joe? I hear that when you.
But they said, but I'm hearing that 40 is back, which gives me a different level of.
Okay. All right. So Joe is ready. All right. Is Elliott Wilson apologizing yet or not? What's this?
Never.
Shit.
It might be a little
shade.
It might be something in there, bro.
It's coming.
You gonna diss him?
Yes. I thought we had a bet about it. Oh, no, that was an old bet or some shit. Yes, I think he getting dissed.
At least some sneak
you can hide in the China League all you want, nigga. Yeah. Them niggas love Drake too.
It's gonna be at least.
Okay, whatever. All right. Okay, so I don't know. Rob Markman. I'm gonna send your apology in, bro. I'm gonna send your apology in, but it might be a 6-month waiting period. See if you back on the payroll this and, who knows. I'll let you know if anything happens afterwards. Okay, cool. So there's this podcaster out of LA. His name is Dejan Paul. He used to be on No Jumper and Back on Fig and a few other places. He has came out with some text messages exposing TDE. Okay? Now, I gotta, let me see if I could find the actual guy right here and what he said. Dejan Paul, that's his name. Okay. Apparently, something happened. I don't know if they kicked him out of the group chat or something like that, but he decided to expose TDE. Now, this guy said, yo, listen, man, you shouldn't be in my DM sucking dick if you was going to let your TDE homies and employees press you into apologizing for talking to me. You're supposed to be a leader, not a follower. Stand on what you said in the DMs. Don't be a coward because your homie don't like me. So apparently he's exposing his DMs with Punch. Punch says, my guy. He says, good afternoon. I hope everything is well. What's good? He said, everything is good, champion. Was looking at some of your commentary. It's definitely needed. Oh, wow. So TDE Punch is like, them guys. They're like desperate to get anybody on their side. So I keep telling you, this is like from when I see Dave Free and like Dave Free looked like he was about to have a meltdown, like, in Detroit. And he was just like, It's like, how much is Drake paying you? I'm like, yo, brother, what are you talking about? Yo, he said them kids was mine. Yo, brother, I ain't say that. Drake said it. Like, I'm telling you, yo, Day Free looked like he was ready to crash out, bro. So, Day Free looked like he lost the battle, not won the battle. Like, he was at the brink. Anyway, he maintained his composure, but he was so, like, Day Free was, yo, Aubrey, you better have your security right when you see Day Free. Like, Day Free gonna get on his All-Star JR shit. Like, I'm telling you, Day Free, like, yo, I'm talking to Day Free. He's tearing up and foaming from the mouth. I couldn't tell if he had rabies or he had, like, some type of motherfucking, like, allergic type of shit. Is this nigga good? It's like, how much does he pay you? What? How much is he? And I'm looking, I'm like, is that famous Dex Froth? I'm like, nah, anyway. So, apparently, like, the TDE guys, they act like they're not bothered, but they're, like, really bothered behind the scene. You know, I paid my hard-earned money. I bought a nice suite. I went to go watch Kendrick Lamar, watch him to do the ding, ding, ding. I wanted to watch him do it. And, you know, Dave Free and him just took up a lot of my time. The other guy was cool, though. Anthony Saleh. He was kind of cool. It took up a lot of my time. I'm over here talking to this guy. And their whole thing is that, like, I'm like, yo, they actually, the way they was going, they was moving like they were beefing with me and Drake. Not Drake. Like, but now I get it. So TDE thinks that I'm like a one-man media Thanos that because, you know, Meek also thought this too. It was kind of interesting. Just because I rock with Drake and he's my favorite artist, they all either think I'm getting paid or even worse, they think that I'm so powerful with swaying the narrative that they have to come up with the Avengers of all type of other podcasters and influencers to balance out my voice. Chad, I know it sounds self-centered. I wouldn't believe it, but damn it, you're going to see the proof. So TDE Punch been behind the scenes DMing bloggers who probably send out a tweet that or say something on a podcast that make TDE look good. So he's like, yeah, champ, we're looking at some of your commentaries needed. And he says, man, that means a lot coming from you. It's greatly appreciated. And by the way, Dejan is a homosexual guy. I'm not making fun of his voice or nothing like that or his sexuality. He could do what he wants. Live your truth, champ. Okay? All right. He says, a lot of other current West Coast podcasters don't agree with what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to bring back that 5 mic review in the Source magazine. Brutal honesty, back to West Coast hip hop. Soren Baker, Kim Rosario, Maddie C, and early Elliott Wilson type content. Now, just to let you know, so Dejan Wilson, he actually does a podcast called no. He has something called like the rap review or something like that. And he does like a review of like all rappers. Like he kind of like does like breakdowns and stuff like that. And he puts out a list and or like he ranks rappers or whatever the case is. And a lot of people like it, but also, you know, it's always fodder for conversation because, you know, his ratings supposedly are pretty like, you know what they are. And Punch says, nah, man, keep at it. You're saying the right things. We have to elevate. Okay, I bet. So let me see what else he posted. Okay. Now, he says 2 TDE employees been sitting on camera calling me a F word for 2 years straight as if their artist, Isaiah Rashad, didn't get caught on camera sucking penis despite him having kids and a baby mama. I got assigned to TDE and drop an album just to be gay in peace? Oh, shit. Oh, wow. So now he says, if TDE and Punch don't think I'm a terrible person, why is your artist in my DMs asking me to promote their upcoming music? So apparently Daylight, who is like a TDE guy, right? He says, meanwhile, Punch, Daylight was just my DMs asking me to push his music. Have him apologize for reaching out to me too, bitch. Oh, wow. Ooh, okay. So let's read Daylight's message. So Daylight's message says, I don't know why he sent this picture, but he says, Drake has Ack as his main promo guy. We got Joe Budden. What the fuck? What? Y'all gotta call Joe. What? I'm telling you now, jump on this and start letting people know this is the next wave of people. Start pushing it because we about to make it super wave. The dude says, who's everybody in the picture? Except Punch, obviously. Wow, interesting. Now, I seen this going around social media, and I see a lot of people asking a lot of questions. First and foremost, yes, it does dawn upon me that like the way y'all been talking about me, and like number one, this supposedly imaginary power that y'all claim I have, how much influential I am, or how much of promo I am. How much money, how much, if we had to like quantify, I do want to hear a question. Let's put this in the comment section. How much money in promo you think I gave Drake? Because I've never gotten paid, but now, it's like the haters have now made me feel like, bro, you've given away millions for free. What? How much y'all think? What? How much y'all saying? Nah, I know I'm influential, but like, come on. Y'all do know certain things I genuinely like, right? All right, I'm seeing 10 mil, 500,000, 2 mil, 2.5, 50,000, 5 mil. Damn, that would be 2 mil the lowest? Now, I would never take credit for Drake and like, everything he's done. But, listen, I've been pretty transparent with you guys when it comes to that. It's always been a thing where I look at it as my relationship with Drake and most artists that I, not only have a relationship with, but I enjoy their music. It's usually best when those relationships turn into mostly exclusive access and also other things that are proprietary. I'm not getting no money. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually looking for who Drake pays for promo. Like, honestly. Like, I literally think Drake has never paid for promo himself. I'm trying to see, like, even when like, I've never seen Republic come around with promo for actually, I've never seen Republic do promo at all. They have to, clearly. But for Nicki, they don't really, they don't even come to me for Nicki. They don't come for Nicki. Let me see who else. Well, The Weeknd. But, nah, that's EXO, though. That's like EXO. EXO just promotes everything. EXO is the best like label / management in like literally. I'm telling y'all that right now. Like they do a good job. It's not even promoting a project. They just keep their artists constantly talked about, refreshed, every milestone highlight. They do a really good job. I'm trying to think like not Interscope people. I'm trying to think about like Republic people. Who else is on Republic? Obviously, Taylor Swift stuff I wouldn't get. No. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just a Republic thing. But I'm really wondering, who the fuck does Drake pay for promo? It ain't me. Maybe I would have something to say about it if I found out Drake was paying a nigga some wild amount for promo. Like, I'd be like, what? And he don't even share a little bit of the bag with me? Anyway. So clearly the answer is no, Drake does not pay me for promo. Drake is my favorite artist. I've said it from day one. You know what I mean? Like, for artists I like and I genuinely enjoy their music, I probably go a little bit harder in terms of like, being excited for their music to come out. Like y'all seen when Cardi's music was about to come out, I was really excited about it. I'm excited about most YoungBoy stuff. Always going to be excited about Drake stuff. These are just me as a fan. At the end of the day, I do understand that I have a huge platform. I'm very thankful to have a huge platform. I'm glad that people do listen to my voice, whether they like it or not, or they support me or they hate me. But there's part of what I do that people are gonna always have to understand is that my personal taste does come into it. Drake's my favorite rapper. Like, and you know, I mean, I don't foresee it, but if there was another person that was my favorite rapper, you'd see me post a lot about that person too. You know, again, I think people kind of stand opposed to Drake so much that they would question it or think that the only way I'm supporting Drake is if I'm getting paid. But also, I keep looking at it like this, right? At this point, I'm one of like maybe 2 media people that have any access to the guy. He's the biggest rapper in the world, which means I'm literally pretty much the person that's going to break about 80% of the stories when it comes to him. That's worth its weight in gold already. You know what I mean? But, you know, I know people always be like, nah, man, you should just get the money. And I'm like, I feel like my platform becomes way more relevant when I know that, yeah, Drake is not going to go leak the news to Elliot Wilson and fucking Anthony Fantano. I don't know. But anyway, all right. So anyway, the point is they got me as Drake main promo guy, even though it's an unpaid position, but fine. They say Dot has Joe Budden. Now, this caused a little stir on the timeline because it's like, is Dot paying Joe Budden? Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know. And I think you would have to ask Joe that. I do want to also say, and I've said this before, I don't think Kendrick Lamar is running his promo. I did tell y'all, though, the best guy that does digital, his name is Kojo. I've worked with him before. He just only works with TDE now. He solely works with TDE. That's the guy that Drake was trying to find. Drake couldn't find the nigga, bro, at all. Drake spent $100,000 to find the nigga in a civil lawsuit. Couldn't find him. That's crazy. That guy is by far the best digital guy in music. I think he works straight for PG Lang at this point, right? So they probably have him on like a multi-million-dollar budget per year. That person, and I've worked with him a lot. I've done a bunch of campaigns with him. Knowing him, I could see them doing something with Joe. He's a very he thinks outside the box. Most labels come to you and they're like, "Could you post this for this money?" He's very next level with, let's get this relationship, incentivize it obviously with some money, but we're going to go off your likes, your taste. We're just sweetening the pot. So if they notice early on Joe doesn't fuck with Drake, okay, let's do some shit with Joe. And it's going to come off natural, not promo-y. Right? Like, that guy that Kendrick has, I've been said it, like, the nigga that Kendrick has is the best in the game. I remember Larry Jackson called me. Was it Larry Jackson? No. It was Steve Stout. Steve Stout called me and said, Ak, who's the best person? He wanted to hire somebody for digital marketing. I said, the guy, I don't know if he worked for PG Lang then. I said, it was Kojo. Number one. Like, which, again, I think all the stuff he does for Kendrick, like, he's probably like a good third of the brains behind everything you see with Kendrick. I don't know if it includes or stops at botting and shit like that. I'll be honest. I don't know about that. I've never, me and him, truthfully, I wouldn't lie on the guy either, because he's a cool dude. I've never heard him tell me that he does botting stuff, but, that would kind of like revolve around maybe something he would do, but I've never heard him and I work with the guy a lot of times. I might have made $1 million with the nigga. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's a good guy. It's a good guy. 1 year with that nigga, I ran up a bag with that nigga. So, but he works with Kendrick. And the question of Dot has Joe Budden, let's get Dot out of there. The brains behind that is this Kojo guy. And Kojo, shit, the way he used to work with me, I could see him working with Joe like that because he works in a way where it's not even promo. He's just paying you. Facts. Like, he's not even, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, it's ill. So I could see that happening. Would I expect Joe to come out and admit it? No. Right? And also probably, like, again, I keep telling y'all, Drake fucked Joe, bitch. Like, yo, like, you don't gotta pay me to not like a nigga after that. But I do believe 100% Kendrick has a bunch of people. I actually know some of their names, you know what I mean? Like, they're just getting paid to post shit, though. And then you have the neutrals. There's a bunch of neutrals that will, you know, like during the battle, what they used to do, anytime I had a reaction, because they were using me as like the Thanos of like the Drake fan / promoter. And anytime I would have anything that would be a reasonable facial, you know, either disappointment, like, oh my God, Kendrick dropped, or like if I'm listening to Kendrick, I'm like, oh shit, that kind of sound good. They would clip it and spend like bad money and send it to the neutral blogs to kind of like, look, even Drake's biggest supporter is realizing Kendrick kicking up. So, you know, Kojo's pretty good, man. So again, when they say, when Daylight says Dot has Joe Budden, I'm thinking, would Kojo do some shit with Joe Budden? And I can see it. Didn't confirm with Joe. Will Joe speak about this? I don't know. I mean, shit. But would I also be surprised if Joe is not getting paid at all? Joe's getting that Patreon money right now, right? Yo, Joe got them arguing on Patreon. Like, yo, yeah, Joe doesn't necessarily need that. And again, you wouldn't have to pay me to go hate on a nigga who fucked my bitch. Like, fuck out of here. So I'm telling you now, yeah. So I don't think, I don't know. I really don't know. All I'm gonna say is that, listen, I tell every fucking, I wish every label had a Kojo. A nigga like Kojo know how to make it happen. All he needs is a fucking budget, and he makes shit work. That's a good promoter. I'm saying it. I've always said it, and yeah, it just is what it is. All right. People are telling me that All-Star JR is incarcerated. By the way, chat, do me one favor. We are migrating. We gave y'all 4 hours. We getting over the kick right now, chat. We got a few more things. We might be going to sunlight. We got to cover this All-Star JR thing. I'm about to see if I could get my man Dogface on the line. They're saying All-Star JR got locked up. Also, here's the thing, chat. I have some official words from Jay Prince Jr., who me and him spoke for a little bit. Come over the kick, you're going to find out, okay? Come over the kick right damn now. Holy shit. By the way, did we ever watch King getting pulled over? He got arrested. You ever watch this shit? Did we?
Our next story this hour is one that has...
He's slowed down, but his slowing down is to 60.
So let's get into more of the nitty gritty here. It happened Sunday morning after police clocked his Tesla Cybertruck going 70 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. The Gwinnett County Police Department released...
Yo, is it me or does... I be like looking at him sometimes like, does he look like T.I.? Like, it don't look like T.I. at all. I guess, I don't know.
Video of his arrest.
He looked like, I want him to diss me though, but he kind of do look like Blueface new girl, like on some real shit. Like he looked like her brother.
And their conversation with his dad. So let's just listen to what happened.
He's slowed down, but his slowing down is to 60. Yeah, I am doing 61 on a 45, and I am not gaining on him. He's also all over the road. Jesus. Hi, good evening. My name is Officer Lopez of the Gwinnett County Police Department. Reason I'm pulling you over is you doing over.
By the way, come on over to Kick Chat. We're going over after this video, then we're going to cover All-Star JR.
I got you. You got your driver's license on you? All right. Are you the registered owner of the vehicle? Okay. Do you have a photo or anything like that of your driver's license? Yeah. All right, I got you. Alrighty. So, do you mind stepping out and we're going to talk right here real quick, back here? About what? You need to step out of the vehicle. Step out for what? So there's a firearm in this vehicle. You're already speeding. You don't have anything on you. I'm separating you from the firearm. Alright, are you going to get out of the car or not? Tell me why. I already told you why. Pennsylvania versus Mims. Are you getting out or not? Supreme Court case law. Are you getting out or not? I don't know what it is. Alright. You need to get out of the car. You're not telling me. If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction. You're going to arrest me for obstruction? Yes, if you do not get out of the car. I don't know why. I don't feel safe. All right, if you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction. I don't feel safe. If you do not get out of the car, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. These cops is patient. Your New York City cop would have yanked you out the car already. These are Gwinnett cops. Yeah, Gwinnett ain't on nothing. Yo, these New York City thug cops, man, they would have grabbed, they would have pulled you by your hoodie out that fucking car. They're not having court on the side of the road up north. Maybe this is why these niggas is down there talking about they king of the South. Nigga, get out of the car. Tased! Like, fuck out of here, nigga.
Telling me a valid reason why. That's a perfectly valid reason. Like, Google it if you want to.
They debating? Google it? Hell nah. I wish a New York City cop would give a nigga the chance to Google his rights. Google your rights? What? What? Yo, this is that Georgia shit, man. These cops is nice. Philly cops ain't letting that happen neither. Look like, I realize cops from other parts in the country is hella nice. They sweet.
I'm not going to end well for you. Let me call my lawyer, man. You have that right, but you're not even under arrest right now.
Let me call my lawyer.
Just detained. Stay in my car. No, you don't. Yeah, I do. Get out of the car. Hey, Quinn. So I'm pulled over right now, and they telling me I got to get out the car for what reason? Because we're going to have a conversation back at the back of the car. They're going to have a conversation. You need to get out of the car. Doesn't matter why. Doing that. I'm not getting out the car because you want to have a... No, I'm not getting out the car. Okay. All right. So well, at this time, you are under arrest. You are not free to leave. Man, you are under arrest. I'm not under arrest. You are under arrest. I'm informing you that you are under arrest. I'm under arrest for what? Hold on, my lawyer calling.
Yo, this cop is sweet, man. Hold up, my lawyer calling. Yeah, all right.
So, a police officer is right here telling me I have to step out my car, and I'm telling him I don't want to step out my car. He's telling me to step out the car to have a conversation. I've already told you you're under arrest. You're under arrest at this point. And he's trying to tell me since I didn't want to step out the car, I'm under arrest. I'm under arrest. But you are under arrest at this point, all right? So you need to get out of your car right now. Okay. All right. All right. So did it make y'all feel tough? Not the slightest. All it does is give me some paperwork. All right. All you have to do is get out the car. File your paperwork. You want me to get out my car to talk to me about what? There's nothing to talk about. This is not your car. You're absolutely flying down the road at 70 miles an hour in a 45. Never had a police tell me to step out the car to ask simple questions. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a firearm within like 2 feet of both of our faces. Yeah, I'm gonna have you step out of the car. It's in front of you. Yeah. What are you talking about? Man? Well, not just that. You have an open THC container in the center console. Okay. Oh. All right. Who do you want to pick up the car and the gun? I gotta be here in 30 minutes or less. What happened at home with y'all? What y'all so upset about? All right. Who are we calling? Okay. We are over at 7050 Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Tell them American Deli. Do you know about how long it'll take to get over here? American Deli. There's a lot of us. American Deli. 7050. American Deli. 7050 Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Now hang my phone up and lock my phone. All right. Hang my phone up and lock my shit. How long will it be for you to get here? Hang it up and lock it. 10 minutes. Hang it up and lock it.
These niggas really move like they're the king of the South for real.
You done? Hang it up and lock it. All right, now let go. Yes, sir.
Hey, Alvarez, how's it going?
Yeah, my son detained.
Yes, sir. He's currently under arrest for obstruction.
Okay.
As well as a variety of other traffic charges.
Right.
Yeah, he was caught doing 70 in a 45. He was instructed to step out of the vehicle because there was a firearm on the dashboard, and we wanted to separate him from that, and he refused.
Did he express his fear for safety?
We got to be safe too. He's right there with John. Right.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So there's absolutely no way to resolve this.
No, he was told multiple times that he needed to get out of the vehicle. He was even told that, according to Supreme Court case law, he is required to exit a vehicle when he is requested to do so by a law enforcement officer. Pennsylvania versus Mims, he stated that, he doesn't have to, he doesn't want to. He's informed that he is under arrest at this.
Hey, this is one of them things that, like, I don't never want to have to, like, show up and try to get my son out of some shit that, like, in reality, that nigga should have knew better. But, T.I. being a good father right here, man. Shout out to Tip.
This time, he was still continuing to refuse to exit the vehicle. And it wasn't until his lawyers called him back and said, you need to get out of the car right now. When he got out of the car, was placed under arrest.
Well, you guys were just listening to some of the body camera footage of the moment that rapper.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, only thing I would say, I wish the cop, I guess they didn't want to articulate it to him that, hey, it's for our safety we want you to step out the car because we see that firearm. And they didn't really say that to him. They just said, hop out the car. Maybe their mindset was if we point to the firearm or we make mention of the firearm of why we want you to step out, you might reach for it and turn to something else. So let's just try to get you out of the car. And I don't know, maybe that's why. But I feel like, obviously he was speeding, but I think King would have complied, if you ask me, if he kind of understood, like, oh, we get it. You have a gun. You might be allowed to have a gun, but it's for our safety. We want to make sure that we could get you away from that gun while we just talk to you about why you're driving so fast and it's not your car, right? So that kind of made sense. All right, chat. We are going to Kick. Please come on over to Kick. Come on over to Kick. We are about to go talk about All-Star JR and also J Prince Jr. and Ben 10. Ben 10 is having his way, man. That guy pouring up lean. He's doing everything up in the hospital. You know what niggas said? Niggas said, yo, he doing everything but wiggling his toes. Y'all ain't shit. I don't like y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas is not shit. Y'all niggas is not shit, man. Y'all niggas is not. Somebody said T.I. the one who called it in. Y'all better stop playing with T.I., man. You know what I was waiting for, though? I thought T.I. was going to take something out of his wallet and be like, officer. Like one of those, like, maybe it's a PBA card or some shit like that. T.I. ain't really had, he had no, not like a badge, but he ain't had no, like, backup. Interesting. Don't he got the key to the city? When you have the key to the city, don't you have, like, something that you could kind of, like, get out of jail free type shit? Interesting. All right. Chat, we are exclusively on Kick. Thank you, guys. I know, to my people on YouTube, just come on over for, like, the last couple hours. And, yeah. Okay, here we go.